Hello and welcome into episode 116 of Two Man Game with Damon and Dom. I'm Damon, that's Dom, and you are the listener. We are back after just a mere 4 days or so of our last recording to deliver our rankings, starting with point guards this episode, and we'll do shooting guard, small forward, power forward, centers, so on and so forth until we get up onto the season projections, record predictions, awards, all that good stuff. Now that most of the offseason is done, teams are mostly set, we can actually start talking about this stuff. Before we do any of that, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave 5 stars, Spotify, whatever. Dom, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to be back. Excited to talk about more hoops and point guards in particular. I had a really good weekend. I went to the beach twice this weekend. It was a lot of fun for two separate birthdays. And I'm really excited. I'm flying to Seattle with Lindsay Wednesday to see the Strokes on Friday. So I'm very excited about that. I will be losing my mind at the show. And I'm
There
excited
is
for it.
my mind.
That's not the Strokes, that's the Pixies.
Don't
Uh,
DMCA us.
but yeah, I'm really excited about that. And before I further ado, I want to wish my co-host a very happy birthday. It was his birthday yesterday, so I just want to say happy birthday. Love you, King. I love being your co-host and just being your friend. So I hope
Thanks,
you had a
man.
yeah. How was your weekend? How are you doing?
Weekend was fine. I was mostly recovering from what was a pretty hectic first week of school. We had a party on Saturday, not for me, but for my one of my former coworkers now, Mike. I think I've talked about him on this podcast before. He's a big Mavs fan. And we talked about Dallas sports and stuff at work. And he is moving to Dallas with his partner. His partner lived in Dallas, so he was often just going up there every weekend for like the last year or so, maybe longer than that. And now he's just going to live there, and he's actually going from the school I work at to like their Dallas campus as well. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, all transferring up there, but there was like a go away for him. This guy's Mike is beloved. Everyone loves him. He's so nice. He's so kind. He's so
Hmm.
thoughtful, intelligent, whatever. So they had a little party for him, and I was like, I'm not gonna do my thing. So I'm bowling this Friday, as we talked about before,
Nice.
with some coworkers. I had a, I don't know if you remember, I had a little like, nope. Trying to point on camera is impossible.
It's
Right
tough.
here in this empty void, there was a Luca vinyl that I got
Yeah.
that I had from the Mavericks. I gave it
Yeah.
to Mike. I said, Mike, you can have
Um,
this. Um,
that's very nice of you.
because even though he's a Laker now, I think Mike and I probably talked about Luca more than anybody else. So I was like, yeah, this seems like a good semblance of our friendship.
He's being traded
Um,
to if he was going to LA, that'd be crazy.
that'd be awesome. But yeah, that was fun. And then yeah, yesterday was my birthday. I didn't really do much, so I'm doing stuff this upcoming Friday instead. I'm 30, old, feel old. Crazy. We wouldn't be friends without this podcast. It's the only reason we talk to each other. So
It's
glad we
true.
have this podcast.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'd still call you. I'd still call you. It's still we go back to the days of us talking on the phone for like an hour and a half about basketball, and you'd be like, "We should have a podcast." It'd just be like
Yeah.
that.
And here we
um,
are.
yeah, but happy to hear. You're doing something on Friday. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, the week's not too stressful, so you can kind of chill and get ready for that.
But it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to hear. You know who's pretty stressed? American business owner Mark Stad, who uh, completed a deal to become the controlling owner of the Timberwolves and the Lynx, purchasing Mark Lore's share for approximately $4.5 billion. Stad was a minority owner already. His wife, Alyssa, will operate as the team's governor. Mark Lore will continue as a minority owner, and then Alex Rodriguez will continue as co-ownership of the team. Do you know who Mark Stad is?
I want to point out something.
Please.
Multiple things. I think it's Mark Lore, not Lore. I think you've always said Lore. I think it's Lore. I'll point that out. Second, both Mark spelled with a C. Crazy. um, third, all I know about Mark's dad is that he owns businesses and he was already a minority owner. So, um, yeah, I don't. It doesn't. This doesn't matter. It's just interesting because Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez went through this whole thing with I already forgot his name, the fucking
Glenn Taylor,
Glenn Taylor,
right?
80-year-old. Where are my
Yeah.
billions?
Where are my
Yeah.
billions?
There was a whole kerfuffle with that. Then, like less than a year later, Mark Laure's like, actually, I'm good. I was reading a little bit into it. Mark Laurie has like, being a rich person, he has like another business that he's trying to focus on, and I guess they basically, as a triplet, him, Rodriguez, and Mark's dad, they were like, we think that you should be like have more involvement because I want to focus more on this, but I also want the team to have success. So it was like kind of a weird conglomerate. I don't know. Don't like buy a team for millions of dollars if you're like, I'm good actually.
Yeah, it's nicer if you're like actually passionate about it, and that's at least where I'm coming from. Even with like this sale of like the Lakers and stuff, I'm like, I guess it's just a business to them, you know. But you know,
Hmm.
people love it, and it's a part of people's lives very much so. So it'd be nice. It'd be, I mean, it is to ask a lot of someone who has millions and billions of dollars to care about people like us. So, you know, I guess cool for them, but it is kind of wild. Yeah, that was what my thought was that he went through all of this stuff just to basically be like, I'm gonna focus on something else. It's like, okay, sure, that's what you want.
Yeah. Uh, Whatever. As long as the Timberwolves continue to make winning moves and play good basketball, I don't care who owns the team.
Yeah, I was also gonna say that like when I mentioned the Lakers being sold to my dad, like he was asking like what do the players feel like, and I was like I feel like if anything the management is more worried than like the players. The players are there, so
Yeah.
it's probably a bit more of like the people who are the GMs and like the coaches and like maybe that's if someone really wants to shake things up, that's where it would start. I don't think it would be like
Right.
a players thing mostly.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, in other Northwest Division news,
Oh my god.
divisions that don't matter in basketball at all. This happened today. Shaden Sharp, I guess, tore his meniscus in some sort of practice or something. He's going to be out for at least 6 months for the Blazers. Kind of unfortunate, an up and down player that I feel like we've seen spurts where it's like, oh, he could be a guy, and then we've seen times where he's not very good or he's out of the rotation or whatever.
Hmm.
So this will definitely put a dent um, on his progress, especially with so many guards in this Blazers backcourt. You come back 3 months into the season, 4 months in the season, because obviously I said 6 months, but we're still a couple months away
Yeah.
from the season even starting. Um, what does the rotation look like at All-Star break when you come back? Do you fit?
Yeah.
Can they find time for you? I don't know.
I know. So now it's only four guards they got to deal with. But yeah, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be Jaw, Dame, and then Drew Holiday and Scoot. So at least not like Scoot will get a chance maybe to prove it a bit more because there are flashes in the playoffs. So it'd be nice if it gives him the opportunity, I guess. But it sucks that it's at this expense, right? It's not exactly
hmm,
that Scoot's gonna earn this. It's like Shaden tore his meniscus, so it's like who else they got to play? So, um, but yeah, I hope he's back sooner than that. But we'll see. I
yeah. That's
guess
usually
it's
a
tough to see.
season-long injury if it's a full tear. So maybe it's
Yeah,
partial. I don't know.
yeah. So we'll keep a update on that. We'll keep everyone updated on that on the Trailblazers. Um, in other news, other players, not injuries, thankfully this time, but Klay Thompson, his salary, $17.5 million salary, was bought out by the Mavericks, and he signed a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Miami Heat. How do you feel about that?
Originally, I was like, I'm already tired of the Heat. I was like, they got Giannis, they did this trade, all signed ends, whatever. But I remember that my biggest criticism of their team was they got nobody that could shoot the ball. And Klay Thompson, if anything, theoretically can do that. In terms of like, yeah, all-time legacy, obviously one of the best shooters ever. But in terms of recent season success, I guess that probably wouldn't be as true. And I always think of like one of his last seasons with the Warriors, maybe it was 2023. Where I just felt like he would just get the ball and just like dribble around a little bit and then take like a kind of contested three. And I was like, ugh, that was bad. So I just hope it's not that. If it can be like, if he can fulfill the Duncan Robinson role that he used to have in the Heat, where he's just getting handoffs from Bam and shooting threes, that can work.
Yeah.
But If he has the ball in his hands too much, I feel like it will be not great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think I like it for both of the teams because now the Mavericks can just focus on younger guys and developing them instead of feeling obligated to play Klay. The Miami Heat need shooting, and like you said, theoretically, Klay Thompson is a shooter. So, I and maybe he can reinvigorate because I feel like the Mavericks have been kind of for him never really took off. So maybe with Miami, he can kind of feel that passion again and kind of maybe get like more in the swing of things over there. He's basically it's him and Tim Hardaway Jr. are like the two guys that they got that are like shooters
Mm.
now. So we'll see what they can do. I like it for the Heat too. It's 6.5 million. Sure, I'd pay that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
why
think it's
not?
fine for both teams.
Yeah,
We talked about DeMar DeRozan being waived by the Kings last time, signed to a contender, and he hadn't done it. Now he has. He has signed a 1 year, 3.9 million, which I believe is the veteran minimum, for the Denver Nuggets. Do you have any strong opinions on DeMar DeRozan, the Nugget?
That's pretty good. um, I'm glad he went to a contender because I think if you have Jokic, the Nuggets are a contender. My biggest question mark was is he starting or coming off the bench?
He
And
can't.
also,
I just feel like he can't start.
yeah, yeah, I know. I think he's a great six man. I think he would
Yeah,
maybe be six man of the year because what I like about him for the Nuggets is that he also plays almost like every game. So
yeah.
like that's great. He doesn't space, but theoretically the Nuggets have people who could be able to shoot. So like for what the Nuggets could get, I think they got someone who is dependable and can score and don't rely on him for defense. I don't know where that's coming from, but you have arguably the best player in the NBA on your team. He's going to make him better. Jokic is going to make DeMar better. So I think I like it. I like it for both people, for DeMar and for the Nuggets. What about you?
It works most in my head is like he's the guy coming off the bench that's going to have the ball in his hands against like other bench lineups, and he will do very well in that role. I think if they try to, like, let's say Christian Brown gets injured and they try to put DeMar in the starting lineup for him, it's just not going to work. Like, he doesn't
Hmm.
fit the Cam Johnson role, the Christian Brown role, the Aaron Gordon role, and then obviously there's Murray and Jokic. So he doesn't really fit into the starting five in my eyes, because they need, I think, mostly spacing,
Yeah.
with Jokic and Murray. So he doesn't fit that. So, but if he's like, kind of in a way what Westbrook was for them a couple of years ago, where when everyone else was off the court, this guy can lead like a competent unit against other bench units. He can do that. Like he can get to his spots and stuff if the other good players are not on the floor. But then you're not like here, Julian Strother and like these other random guys that haven't really proved themselves yet.
Totally. Yeah, I like it. And I don't know how many more years DeMar has in the league, but I think this is will be a good stop for him. Definitely playing for more than like the Kings are playing for right now. So I like that a lot.
Isn't
Um,
everybody?
yeah. Oh, and so on to the next thing. It's crazy that this next thing happened right when we stopped podcasting
Yeah,
last time.
yeah.
But this is kind of it's not super big, but it is a very interesting trade. So the Cavaliers, the Clippers, Wizards, and Nuggets agreed to a four-way deal that sends Peyton Watson and Cam Whitmore to the Cavaliers, Max Strus to the Clippers, Trey Mann to the Wizards, and an unprotected 2031 Cavs first round pick to the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And then included also in this, so Peyton Watson signed a 4-year, $88 million deal with the Cavs, so it's about $22 million a year. What were your thoughts on this trade?
I should say there's some second rounders in here, and I was like, I'm not typing those.
Yeah,
Don't care. Uh, Cavaliers W, big W, getting Peyton Watson. I don't know if 22 million. I mean, like it's fine, I guess. Like it's not. I don't think it's an overpay, but do I think he's a 22 million dollar year a player right now? No, he has to kind of grow a little bit to show that. I think. Um, yeah, but when your backcourt is Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and you need a guy to play defense at the small forward position, okay, now I get it. And you didn't really give up a whole lot. Like you're paying him, but you didn't really give up anything. I think that matters too much. Like Max Strus, I've been out on Max Strus for a while. Not because he's a bad player. I just think that he doesn't really fit that what they need at the three position,
Hmm.
especially because he's like 6'5". And he's like, I don't know. I think Max Strus gets a little too much credit as a defender, but I think Peyton Watson is that guy and has more size that will help. Um, Not a spacer in that regard, so that's going to be interesting because Mobley can't really shoot, Allen can't really shoot, so it's just Harden and Donovan Mitchell they can shoot in the starting five. And a first round pick for a team that I think thinks that they just made the conference finals. They think they're a championship team. You trade up one first round pick for a guy you think is going to be a crucial member of your starting five. That's fine. Cam Whitmore, like that. We like Cam Whitmore on this
Hmm.
podcast. We hope he gets some sort of reps. I can't believe he didn't get any on the Wizards. It's kind of
Hmm.
crazy. Um, don't really get it for the Clippers. I guess they didn't really give up a whole lot. I don't
Maybe
even know
some
what they.
seconds, or did
Yeah,
was
maybe there were some seconds.
yeah.
Maybe there were seconds because Trey Man. He was on the Cavs too. I think actually he just got traded
Yeah,
for
he was
Dennis
just on
Schroeder.
exactly. Yeah, he was on the
So
Cavs. Yeah,
I guess the Cavs also technically gave up him, but it's not like a huge deal. I don't think they were dying for Trey Man.
yeah.
Um, Clippers, whatever. Wizards, whatever. They get Trey Man for free. I guess that's fine. I like Cam Whitmore. They weren't playing him anyways. Nuggets lose Peyton Watson. Don't want to pay. Don't want to go into the apron. So I think they're like clearly the biggest loser of the trade.
Yeah.
Um, because they just lost a pivotal rotation piece for nothing. So
And a young guy they developed too, you know?
yeah. So Cavs winner, Nuggets loser, Wizards and Clippers don't care. That's my ultimate thought.
Yeah, yeah. I like Peyton Watson on the Cavaliers. His 3-point percentage in the corner has been going up. So like if he can get that at like a solid rate, that's great. I'm sure he'll be developing that all summer. I hope Cam Whitmore gets to play, like you said. Max Strus of the Clippers is interesting to me because the Clippers already have like 16 or 17 people on their roster. It's like too many
Yeah.
people. So they're going to have to cut even more younger guys. And I'm like, so if you're going into this rebuild, or they're just going to waive Max Strus maybe, and he'll sign somewhere.
Yeah. Or
I
they'll
don't
move
know.
him next podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what like what they contributed. Maybe there was some second round picks or something. Why the Clippers got involved, or just an excuse to get off of Max Strus's contract for the Cavaliers. Trey Mann to the Wizards, fine. There's already a lot of guards over there. I don't know if he's going to play. And at least the Nuggets get a first round pick, 2031. Who knows how valuable that'll be? But Nuggets are definitely not. They don't have a lot of picks, so any first round picks are going to be nice to have for them. Yeah, and in addition to like the Cavaliers doing this, also to kind of make room, so they signed also James Harden. He's back. He signed a 3-year, $97 million deal to return to the Cavaliers. And it's important to note that they needed to lower his annual salary in a 3-year deal so they would be able to afford Peyton Watson and sign him, and so they're below the apron, which I'm sure they were talking to James Harden like, hey, we're gonna sign you. We just got to figure out how to get this guy, and then once we do, we'll get you
Yeah.
paid.
They did
Um,
the same thing for LeBron. They're like, we're gonna try to get LeBron, so we gotta wait.
yeah,
And like, we're gonna try to get Peyton Watson, we gotta wait.
James
James
Harden
Harden's
is
just
just
sitting
like
there.
in Cancun, just like okay, whatever, okay. So yeah, so James Harden's back for sure for 3 years. I will say back to the Peyton Watson thing. I think a 4-year deal is a little long to be paying like 22 million a year. He had a good year last year, and like he's progressing, but if he stops kind of where he is, I'm worried this might be like another like Christian Brown thing where it's like you had like you're progressing, but then you kind of hit a wall. So I hope that's not the case. Obviously, I hope he gets better and fits into the system. So we'll find out. 4 years is just a while to be paying this much money, but you'll still have technically Donovan Mitchell on the team, James Harden too. So like you should still be contending theoretically if they're all
Hmm.
together still. So um, we'll see from here.
Yeah, I guess they were like normally he's been doing like 1+1s 2 years, you know, 90 million or something, and then decline the player option, restructure the deal, kind of like what LeBron does a lot,
Hmm.
or had been doing, not anymore. And this time they were like, okay, we'll give you a longer deal for more security, but it'll be less annually because we can't afford that. So I guess it's a win in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Um, yes, I wrote the career earnings note. Now 511 million in career earnings, fourth most all time. Do you know who the other three are that have eclipsed 500 million total dollars?
Are they all still playing or no?
Yes,
Okay. I had a feeling. LeBron James.
because inflation.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, LeBron is one. Hmm.
500 million. I mean, I'm trying to think who's gotten paid a lot. Is it like Jason Tatum yet?
Nope,
Okay.
they're
Um,
all pretty old.
Kyrie Irving.
Nope.
Okay, I'm blanking right now. This is bad. Damian Lillard.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay,
They're like
okay.
all like top 10, 15 players of all time, probably.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No,
Jokic.
no.
Jesus Christ. I'm just
Older, older.
older. Who's still playing the freaking league? Oh my God. Kawhi Leonard.
Older.
Paul George. Just gonna
Oh, older.
500
I said
old.
top 10, 15 players of all time.
I know, but now I'm just naming
You're
players I
just
know because
naming
I
guys.
don't want it to be silent. It's just gonna be silent if I say nothing. I'm not gonna be like, I don't want to hold that. Okay. Who's old still in the league? Are they relevant or not really?
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Both of
my
them are
God.
extremely relevant. Both of them are still the best player on their respective teams. Both
Oh
of them
my.
are in the West.
I need a list of these players. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is not one
Oh
of
my God. Okay.
them.
And then let's see who else we got.
One of them has been on one team for his whole career.
Steph Curry. Okay, there
There
we
you
go.
go.
Jesus. I'm Hey man, it's been a while. It's been rough since I just looked at the raw. I'm just trying to remember. Oh my
Like,
god.
you know these guys.
Of course. Okay. I was sure. I always thought there might be some like
Casual. Yeah.
that you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Because like the thing is like now is like people are going to be earning more than 500 million that you really wouldn't expect. So
Yeah.
that's where my
But we're
head
not
went.
we're not
Yeah.
there yet.
No, we're not.
Now
We'll
it's
get
just the
there.
old guys that are still in the league,
The
basically.
old heads. All right, let's get to something I definitely know more about: tier lists and point guards.
Mmm.
Let's
Tier
see.
list, you say?
Are you
I
gonna
have one of
show?
those.
Are you gonna show the one from last year?
Oh, that's a good pull from you. Hold on. Let me pull up this folder,
Yeah. So
move
let
it
me
to my
explain a
other
little.
monitor so I don't display all of my information.
Let me explain real quick about the tier list. So every year we're gonna go through every position in the NBA and who is going to be their starting point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. Right. What we're projecting in this tier list is how they are going to be this year, this upcoming year. We're projecting if they're going to be S tier this year, or A tier, or B tier, and so forth. Um, so that's what this explanation. It's not how they are right now. It's how we think their season's going to be. Last year, I think we did
This tier
okay.
list is awesome.
Okay, S tier is great. S tier is always, I think we're pretty good. And then A tier, like half the people didn't play.
This is, oh wait, this might be, this is 24-25. Sorry,
Oh,
I
okay,
need
okay. I
twenty-five
was gonna say,
26.
okay, okay. We had Jalen
I
Brunson S tier 2 years ago. We're way ahead of our time. That's
we are
way,
we were cooking. That's what we
we
were doing.
were doing so much
Where are
back
the
then.
point guards from last year? Did I save them?
You had to have. If anything, we'll just go back to the old podcast and pull them.
Am I stupid? Oh, here it is.
Oh, you found? Okay, good, good, good. Nice, nice. And so we bumped him down. Interesting. I mean, so far, like, I only disagree with one so far, really.
This is our so
Two.
last year we had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, uh, Luca, and Steph in S tier. Do you want to do A tier?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. A tier, Devin Booker, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Trey Young, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and Jamal Murray.
B tier we had De'Aaron Fox, Amon Thompson, Andrew Nembhard, Darius Garland, John Morant, LaMelo Ball, Josh Giddey.
C tier, Drew Holiday, Jalen Suggs, Anthony Simons, is that Davion Mitchell and
Yeah.
Emmanuel Quickly?
D tier, we had Dennis Schroeder, Mike Conley, D'Angelo Russell, Jordan Poole.
F tier, is that Keyshawn George?
That's Bub Carrington.
That's Bub Carrington. And that's Isaiah Collier. Terrible picture. Yegor
Yeah.
Demon. And then
Yeah.
at the very end, yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was our list last year. Um, and as Dom was kind of saying, we like to do this as a projection exercise because that's more fun than this is how they were last year. That's
Yeah.
boring. We know. We watched. We get that. So this is instead. This is how we think they'll be this year, or by the end of this year. They'll be these kind of tiers. So that's what I think makes this fun is projecting a little bit. Like you said, the one I accidentally pulled the one up from 2 years ago. We had Jalen Brunson S tier, and that was probably like a money projection because I don't think he was quite that guy yet.
Yeah.
Um, so that feels pretty good. I don't even know if I think he's S tier right now, but to put him there before I think everyone else like really loved him, I think it's kind of fun.
New
And
York City.
sometimes we project people
Yeah.
that are really high and they're not good. So
Yeah. And that's the fun of it, right? We get to look at it from last year, and then we don't think about it, It's so
I was also thinking because the one from last year had Josh Giddey in F, or from 2 years ago had Josh Giddey in F tier, and I was like, wow, we were really low on Josh Giddey. But the
yeah.
one
I
from last
guess.
year had him in B tier, so we really had a big jump for Josh Giddey.
Well, but the thing is, I love. I mean, it's kind of cool to see that too. Is like how they prove themselves over that season or 2 seasons ago or something. Like it's cool to see that.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't mind being proved wrong. You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Like, it's actually pretty cool because then it's unexpected, right? If everything goes exactly how we plan it, that's boring, right? So
Yeah,
having Trey Young in A tier last year was kind of funny, So
yeah.
now we can kind of think about it a bit
Well,
more
we'll
and
see.
project from here. So I want you to start. Do we want to go just alphabetical order? Or you? Oh, you got the wheel.
Oh, I got the wheel.
Lovely,
I got the
lovely.
wheal ready to go,
I
and I
love
got a
it.
depth chart pulled up so we can
All right,
talk about why we have a player where we have.
beautiful. Sounds good to me. Who do you got?
Oh, okay. Let's talk about a guy that did not play a whole lot last year. Hasn't played a whole lot for this team when he's been there,
Yeah.
and that is one DeJounte Murray. Um, originally I considered maybe Jeremiah Fears appearing on this list just because he shows up. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
Control F, please go to Pelicans or don't. Um, so DeJounte Murray is projected to be the starting point guard, assuming he's healthy and plays. With the Pelicans, you never know. But for our purposes, we'll act like it's DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Where do you what are you thinking for Mr. DeJounte here?
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
I can go. I can try.
I mean, I'm definitely looking at C or D just because it's been a while. When he's at his best, probably B. But I like that he can defend and he's very like lengthy as like a point guard. So like his defense is there because of his size, and it's just been a while since I've seen him play. And like I remember his mid range used to be good and getting the basket, but it's been a while. So I don't know if I want to like sell high or low by putting him in C or D. I don't know what you're thinking though.
How many? So DeJounte Murray has been on the Pelicans for two full seasons,
Yeah,
24, 25, 25, 26. How many total games do you think he's played on the Pelicans during that time? I have
I'm
his
gonna
stats pulled up.
I'm gonna say 20.
Okay. So he played 45 total games.
He did.
Uh,
Okay.
so
Okay.
first 24, 25, he played 31 games, and 25, 26, 14 games.
Mm,
And he started all of them. So if he's healthy, he will start. But
okay.
if is a big if. And looking at his stats, his like averages were a little below like all-star DeJounte Murray that last year in San Antonio, even a little below Hawks DeJounte Murray. Percentages were fine. Defense definitely lacking since his Spurs days, but I think can be there with the right system. I think that's the big benefit of playing with the Spurs is you're kind of like have to play defense or you die.
Yeah.
So that's that's nice. D feels low for me. And we should say, if we haven't already, C tier in terms of starting point guard in the NBA. Well, let's remember these are all NBA players. They are all S tier basketball players above everybody else in the world, including me and you and the listener. But in terms of the other starting point guards in the NBA, that's probably where he averages out. So I feel a nice C feels fine. I could see a B season if he's healthy. It's a big if.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good to me. I really want to see him. I used to watch the Pelicans quite a bit when Valanciunas was on there, and never really. I haven't watched in the last 2 seasons. I think for obvious reasons.
All right.
But I would like to watch them a bit more this year. I might make the effort. We'll see if I have the time though, because there's a lot of other teams to watch too. So,
There's 29 other teams to watch. What's up with that?
and now it's time for me to talk about your Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, so we
Time
got
for you
was
to
it
talk about Ty
Ty Jerome?
Jerome.
Ty Jerome. Okay, so Ty Jerome was really great as a backup on the Cavaliers, and then he signed to the Grizzlies because they couldn't keep him around. I like what he can do. To me, he's more of a bench guy. So as a starting point guard, it's a little tough. He is like crafty with his like passing and shooting, getting to the rim. But compared to a lot of these point guards, I think he's lacking in just a lot of. I think a lot of people can get to the rim better than him, or a bit more crafty, can assist better. So I'm kind of feeling like a D tier for him. What about you?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna ask you questions, of course.
Please.
How many games did Ty Jerome play for the Grizzlies last year?
I'm gonna say 18.
15. Good guess. Big unhealthy season for him, and he did start all 15. So I know before the pod we were talking about is Ty Jerome really the starter? I guess when he was healthy, he was. And that was when John Morant was theoretically on their basketball team. So if he was starting then, he is certainly probably starting now. And looking at the stats, 20 points, 6 assists, relatively decent efficiency. So it doesn't seem like he had a bad season. The Grizzlies just were so forgettable that we didn't really check in with them too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ty Jerome definitely feels like a bench guy, feels like a backup, does not feel like a bona fide starter for a good NBA team. Because, even when he started 15 games for the Grizzlies and put up good numbers, it probably ultimately didn't lead to anything. Not saying that that's his fault, but it's just one of those things where if you're a relatively small guard, which I believe he is relatively small, no, he's 6'5". He does not seem like he's 6'5".
He does. I was gonna
He
say like
seems like he's like
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah,
Yeah. I was
yeah.
like, he feels 6'2". Okay. Sorry, Ty. Sorry. Didn't mean to take the height away from you. But I'll say this, when you're a score first guard, it feels like you have to be elite, elite, elite in order to kind of carry a team if that's kind of your play style. And that is his play style, more of a score first and a playmaker. And I would not say he's elite. So,
Yeah,
um, D tier feels fine.
yeah, for sure.
Two down, two to go.
I wonder how much Grizzlies I'll watch this year. Maybe I'll see him play against the Lakers because it'll be like cheaper tickets. All right, got a big one for you.
Oh, I just talked about him. Jalen Brunson. Coming off of a championship, a finals MVP that maybe should have went to OG Anunoby, potentially. Um, this guy has been very good in New York, obviously. I think, last year was, on the fringes of All NBA first team, kind of on the fringes of MVP discussion. Then he led a team to the finals. So, what does that look like? Not to the finals, but to the championship. What does that look like the following season? Some teams experience championship hangover, some teams don't. Um, some teams get hurt because they just played a really long playoff series. Jalen Brunson's been pretty available for his entire career, despite his physical play as a small guard. Um, but he still suits up and shows out. And I think that will be most of the case for next season. I think what makes it hard for me to want to put Brunson in the S tier is there are like two of the top three, four players in the NBA at this position that I think are better than Jalen Brunson. So then the S tier I think gets really stacked, and that's kind of the scary thing. The scoring is there. He's kind of unstoppable in the post as a guard, which is interesting. He's a really good shooter. He is a good at getting to the free throw line, much to my chagrin. And he is clutch. He's very clutch, which is something you cannot take away from him. Very important skill in the NBA, especially when you win a championship.
Hmm.
So I'm between A and S. It's hard. If it was A, it would be like the top of A tier
Yeah.
probably. Um, I just also don't know if if they're going to kind of take it easy this season, not in the playoffs, but until they get to the playoffs, they don't really have a lot to prove in the regular season. So I don't know if he's going to be going out there every night playing his heart out, or if they're going to kind of coast to a 3 or 4 seed and then really kick it into gear in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of what you said. And what's going to be different about this year, too, is that, like, last year, the Knicks, I'm not going to say they were unsuspecting to be really good, but the thing is, no one thought they would win the championship. Like, maybe people were like, I mean, they have a chance, but it was, like, low, as opposed to, like, a lot of other teams. Um, so now everyone's going to be expecting it. So I think they're going to be watching film very intently to make sure Jalen Brunson is not as effective as he can be. That being said, I mean, he's still going to be really good. My favorite thing about him is like the footwork and the craftiness around the rim that he can do, and like you said, he's available. And my heart wants to put him in S tier, right? But then I think about all these other point guards, like you mentioned, and they do very similar things to him, and also just put, like you said, elite. It's just like the most, they're the best at what they can do. Like I can think of someone with better footwork. I can think of someone who's a bit more crafty around the rim. So it's like that's where I'm kind of like maybe top of A, back of S. But we just maybe put top of A and then just see how everything kind of works out. But Jalen Brunson is one of the best point guards in the league, probably top five. You know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The more I think about it, the more back of S sounds correct, but I
Hmm.
think putting him in A tier for now and perhaps moving around later.
Yeah.
So there's a name in my head that I'm thinking, would I take Jalen Brunson over this person? And I think I would, which in previous years I might not. Uh,
In my head, I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm curious to see who it is when we get there.
Tell me about your thoughts for Mr. Keontae George. Probably going to start at the 1. They drafted Darren Peterson, the number 2 pick. He's 6'6", so he's probably going to be the 2. That would be my estimated starting backcourt for them.
Yeah, I agree. Keontae George, pod favorite. We saw him play at Summer League, so
Oh
he'll always
yeah,
be kind of a favorite of ours. Um,
and I liked him too. I was like, this guy's gonna be good.
yeah, last year I think if this is all eye test because I'm not looking at stats. I believe last year was a bit of a down year for him. I think
No, last year was a good year for
it was a
Keontae
good year
George.
for. Okay, maybe I was thinking, is
How many
this
points do you think he averaged last year?
first? Is this the third year in the league for him last year, right?
Yes,
Okay, I was thinking of his second year. I'm gonna say he averaged 21 points.
23.6
Ooh, nice.
and 6 assists.
I was gonna say, what I like a lot about him is that he can score. He's a really good at assisting. Defense leaves room to be desired, but I think the Jazz are going to be a very interesting team because I think they can be sneaky good. My biggest question about like as opposed from last year to this year is the addition of Darren Peterson. I don't know how much it's going to affect Keontae George is able to do. I don't know if they're going to take turns with it or if they're going to be able to really play off each other really well. So that's like where my head goes about like I don't want to keep saying it's gonna his like average is gonna keep going up because maybe it'll suffer a bit, but maybe he'll be more efficient. So those are my question marks around Keontae. I think the Jazz. I think he's gonna be great for them, and I'm glad that he's starting, and there's no questions about that. Just a little worried about that how that backcourt is going to kind of feel because it'll be different.
Hmm.
He had the keys last year. He's like, go off. We're not trying to win. Things like that. So I'm just a little concerned about that. I will wait for my tier rating until you kind of talk a little bit about Keontae.
Yeah, I think it'll be a interesting year, like you said, because the Jazz, I think, for the first time in a while, have something to play for. With Keontae. Darren Peterson expected to be pretty good off rip. Jaren Jackson, Laurie Markkinen. So they have kind of this interesting team of good players, and I think should be kind of one of those, maybe lower play-in kind of teams instead of where they've been, which is at the very, very bottom of the Western Conference. So that changes things for the people on your team. They're not losing anymore. And I think Keontae has had good growth in a losing environment. So I feel like in a winning environment, it will be even better. Um, so that feels like I'm in on Keontae George. I think he's going to have a good season. I think he's going to be a good part of this Jazz lineup and continue to grow. I don't think that last year's 24-6 about is where he stops. I think he can continue to, maybe not like get better in terms of statistics, but just contribute to winning on his team. So, with that being said, and looking at our tier list also matters based on where they're at and the projections, like how they've played the last couple seasons. I would put them above DeJounte in the C tier, or I would put him in the B tier.
I was gonna go B tier. Probably end up in the back of B tier when we start adding people, but I'm curious to see what happens every year. Is that eventually every tier kind of has an identity, and
Yeah.
then we see who fits it and who doesn't. And I feel like we'll see what the B tier looks like, but it seems like it's going to be younger guys who are showed promise and are going to keep getting better. Whereas C tier might be like at their what they were at their best might be what it was, but they're not probably going to get any higher than that ceiling. I feel like that.
I think
But
Keontae George in the B tier also makes me just want to put Brunson in the S tier.
sure.
Like Brunson one tier above, that seems kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Kind
and again, we're fluid.
of.
We're fluid with it, so we'll move it around. But I was thinking B tier for Keontae. So
Yeah.
works. I'm
Yeah.
glad it was a good. I couldn't remember if it was a sophomore year that was a slump, which makes perfect sense. That's why they call it a sophomore slump, I guess.
Yes. Oh,
Talk,
this will be
tell me,
fun.
talk to me.
This will be fun. I thought about wearing the shirt, and then I didn't want to dig it out. But Tyrese Halliburton coming back after missing the whole season with the torn Achilles. Last time we saw him was in Game 7 of the 2025 NBA Finals, where he sadly went down, missed the whole following season. But up until that point, had absolute electric playoff run, um, and was a great playmaker, made some great clutch shots, and really ran that Pacers offense. And this year it'll be interesting because he'll be back without Miles Turner. Obviously, he wasn't there last year, but um, Halliburton didn't play. So now he has Zubac, which is strange. Still has the kind of defensive identity of Miles Turner, but not the spacing. And then we have Siakam still, which is great. No Mathurin anymore. None of those other guys from that finals team. And not exactly guys ready to take that place. Like Jarris Walker's still kicking around. Hasn't really made anything of himself yet. Ben Shepherd was here and there for the Pacers. And I bring all these other guys up because that's such a big part of, I think, Halliburton's success is organizing and operating the team. And depending on how I think good the pieces are around him will kind of affect how good he is. Like you kick out to a guy for a corner three, and when they're making it more than they're missing it, it probably is kind of making you operate in a different way, in a more successful way, kind of looser and smoother. Um, and I'm just unsure on some of the pieces. But I think he will run a great offense. I think the Pacers will come roaring back this year. Not like a top two seed in terms of regular season performance, but I think kind of a solidified, not exactly a team you want in the first round kind of matchup. And Halliburton, again, is the engine of all that. So it's a big question mark with the health because we haven't seen him at all coming off this Achilles. We saw Tatum come back from basically the same injury and then leave during the playoffs because he kind of got re-aggravated somewhere. So Halliburton has had more time, so theoretically he will be healthy, but you never know. Um, but looking at our tier list, it feels like he would just slide right into A tier at this moment. But it is a question mark, so I'm unsure.
Yeah, I was thinking about A tier for Tyrese Halliburton. I think another one of our kind of favorites because I think that run was insane and probably one of my favorite things that I've seen in the NBA, like in the last few years. Um, Even though they did lose a couple pieces, I think they did a good job of adding pieces like Kelly Oubre, which I think is gonna like fit right into this system of like knowing when to cut, when to shoot, and things like that. Um, and yeah, and you still have dependable guys around. I'm really mostly worried about his Halliburton's health and like the other guys because the way he plays, I think he elevates them. Even if it is Ben Shepherd you're kicking out to, like he'll if it was anyone else, it maybe wouldn't be that great. But I trust Hallie. I think he goes in A tier for sure. And I hope he proves us wrong and he's in S tier by the end of the year. But we'll see. We'll see what the Pacers can do. I think they are going to be like I don't want to say sneaky because I'm sure people are like, did you see that their opening night game is against the Pelicans?
Mm, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and he was on the numbers on the board pod. I think I didn't watch a lot of it, but I read a little bit about it, and like yeah, I think they're gonna be playing with a chip on their shoulder because
Yeah,
like everyone just kind of forgot about the Pacers and they just went to the finals, and so what happens when you lose literally the machine of your offense, right? So
right.
I
That
think
does make sense to me.
yeah. All right, I'll do this one. Okay.
Okay.
If you're
All
gonna
right.
make me, if you're gonna make me. All right, let's talk about the best point guard in the league. Okay. I'm kidding. There's some debate there. But we're talking about the Lakers. We're talking about Luka Doncic, of course. What more can I say? One of our favorite players in the league. Definitely one of mine. And this is going to be an interesting year because it's the first time, Luka without LeBron in LA. Even though it was only like a year and a half, really, of that. It will be the first time. It's just going to be him and Austin Reeves in the backcourt. I think this is going to unlock Luka even more, though, because LeBron had to have the ball. He didn't. Well, he didn't have to. He's really good off ball as well. But Luka is someone that needs the ball. Now, no one is going to be questioning who's going to have the ball. Right? It's Luka. It's Luka's team now. And I guess just to talk about Luka, if someone is here and new and doesn't know Luka Doncic, incredible playmaker, great at rebounding, great scorer, can score all three levels. Defense is the only thing that leaves room to be desired, but he has shown he can, in certain situations, sit in the chair and do something. I'm not gonna say he turns it up that much, but I think he's one of the best footwork I think in the league, and the way he uses his body's momentum to get in, to slow down, to speed up, and is unrivaled. It's very tough. No one can't think of anyone that's that elite as him. So I think this year, Lakers are his team. He'll be unlocked. They're gonna need him to be like in MVP conversations if they want to be competing because like we lost a lot of people, we added pieces, but I'm not. I think it's a fine team, and he's gonna make it better, but it's really top heavy. I'll tell you right now. So yeah, I think Lucas S tier. I talked a lot about him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely S tier. He was one of the guys I alluded to earlier. Top four players, five players in the NBA. That two of them are point guards. This is one of the two. I mentioned Halliburton's offensive machine. This guy has been an offensive machine like no other. He had his first year in the NBA where he won Rookie of the Year, and then he made All NBA first team 5 consecutive years in a row after that. Until the year he was traded to the Lakers where he got injured and he didn't qualify because he didn't play enough games. Um, but then last year came back All NBA first team yet again. So, he's just been that guy and he has been deserving of that. If we pick anything or any holes in this game, it's that he doesn't play the greatest of defense. And I think the reason for that is because he is expending so much effort on offense in every possession that just means he doesn't have really the energy to put on defense. Now, that's not like a reason. I think he could be a better defender, but it makes sense when you kind of really watch the game and you're like, yeah, this guy is like, if anyone here has played basketball, it's hard to run up and down the court in general. So when you're also controlling everything that's happening on one side of the floor, it can be a little tough to want to put that extra effort in on the defensive side. Um, and when you're the best in the league at it, I think people will look by it. And we do. And that's why we put him in S tier, despite us being people that love defense. It doesn't matter how much defense you play against this guy. He's gonna get it done. So,
Hmm.
you know. Not much to say, not much to add. Everyone knows Luca, so
Yeah. I do want to say also, while you're spinning the next one, that he looks way more fit too. He's been working out a lot, and right now all the Lakers are in Slovenia for training camp, and he's like treating them to like everything around, like taking them to, like restaurants, going swimming, and I think it's a cool like team chemistry building thing. So it's cool to see.
yeah. I funny last year he was on the cover of Men's Health, and that was the year he was like the least healthy. Um, Funny how those things work.
Yeah.
But next we have another iconic point guard, Wardell Stephen Curry Jr. or Steph Curry to the casuals. Obviously a legend and the best shooter of all time and all that fun stuff. On this really old Warriors team, I always credit a couple things with Steph Curry that I think go underrated. Maybe not anymore, but because I think people are so infatuated with just the shooting itself, which like obviously it's great, and it goes off his hands, and you're like, it's going in. And half the time he's like, it's going in, and turns around and starts walking the other way, and it does go in. It's kind of frustrating. But the off-ball movement, I've never seen off-ball movement like Steph Curry's. The amount of energy he expends just running around without the ball in his hand to get those shots, and they're not even open. Half the time he's like moving, falling away, and it's like, no, it's just money. And I think it's I've never really seen another player move like he does off the ball.
Hmm.
Um, it's really fascinating, and the system that they build around him, setting screens and stuff to get him just that breath of space because everyone knows that guy's going to make it. And he does anyways. So that's awesome. I kind of think his defense is almost underrated. Like I think he gets pretty handsy and like he can try to be in front of you for a possession or two if he needs to. I think they do a good job of hiding him though, so he doesn't have to often do that. This was the guy earlier that I was thinking, would I put Jalen Brunson over this player? This is the person I was thinking of. And I think in the past I would have said no. I think at the elder years of Stephen Curry and the prime of Jalen Brunson, I think I do lean Brunson a little bit.
Mm.
Just because he only played 40 games last year. So he's a little unhealthy. He's 38. Like, he's getting up there, so I don't know how effective he is going to continue to be in his game because it's so reliant on like energy and movement. And he's just kind of old. And like I don't want to say he's not going to be. I think he's going to be great. I just don't know how great.
Mm. Is he gonna have a better season than Jalen Brunson? That's basically the question, right?
Right. And
Um,
I don't know if he will.
yeah, I obviously I want to put him above Jalen Brunson, just because I think it's hard to ignore a lot of what you mentioned, like the off-ball movement and the shooting and the defense. But what matters too is the people around him, and is he going to be able to get a lot of chances with this kind of team as it is right now? And he's got Draymond there who's able to set him up. He's like the best at it. It's crazy to see how connected they are. But they've lost a lot of people that were also part of that. So it's like I'm leaning toward Jalen Brunson higher than him too, just because of a lot of like not just him, but external factors that are going to elevate his game as opposed to Steph's game.
hmm
Um, but we'll see. I feel like he always kind of proves us wrong. Even though we put him in the S tier, I feel like every time I watch him, I'm like, he's like the greatest point guard I've ever seen in my life. Like it's him.
Yeah.
It's you know what I mean. It's like sometimes you just can't. So, but yeah, if I was going into next season, I'd probably take Brunson just because I like what he could do. Um, yeah, he's just got more tools. Like Steph Curry running around and like I mean I don't want to like underrate his like his ability to get to the rim because he's also pretty crafty around the rim.
Yes.
But it's just
Yes.
Jalen Brunson's like it's just the footwork thing, man. It just gets to me. So cool. So he's in his prime, so he's probably quicker. So so yeah, Steph Curry S tier behind
Yeah.
Brunson.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
We'll move things around if we need to. All good.
We got some heavy hitters to start us off.
Sure do. I
I
can't
get
wait
some people.
for.
I'm gonna put some people in the F tier.
I know. And here we go. Here's the first one. I'm kidding.
No.
That'd be so rude. Um, so it's
Peyton
Peyton
Pritchard.
Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard, right? Okay, so Peyton Pritchard. So he has been like the sixth man of the year, sixth player of the year. Like the last two seasons, you could almost argue, right? He's coming off the bench. This is the first year Jalen Brunson's traded. You got Paul George in. Probably the first year he's going to start for this team. Wait, did he start last year?
Um, I don't think so, because wasn't
Okay,
he a six man of the year?
I thought so. I just wanted to make sure before I just kind of. I
Oh
didn't know
no,
if before.
he started 50 games last year.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's not crazy that he's going to be starting again
Yeah,
this year. I just always think of him as someone off the bench because
yeah.
he's really good in the role.
I think they maybe had Anthony start sometimes. I think
Mm,
they had maybe just like Derek White start at the one, and then like Jalen Brown at the two, and kind of went up from there. But
yeah,
depending on who was available.
yeah. So Peyton Pritchard, he plays with a lot of heart, which I like a lot. He can shoot the three. He can defend all right. He can get to the hoop. He's not a traditional point guard. I don't think he's like the best at like assisting. He's not someone I think like around is really going to be elevating the people around him like that. But he fits in the Celtic system very well by shooting and hustling, and that's great. You need that in a player. Um, but when you think of a point guard, like I also think that like the passing needs to be pretty good because you're probably if you're not like Jokic, your point guard usually orchestrates the offense and things like that. So in that respect, I think he lacks compared to a lot of these people. But he's still really really good, and I like him. So I'm leaning like probably I don't want to like underrate like maybe top of C tier because I just don't know if he's like Keontae George good. Like I'm sure he can score that well, but I don't know if he can like get that many assists. But maybe without Jalen Brown there, he will be able be unlocked. So, what are your thoughts?
Here are my thoughts, because I don't want to spend that much time on Baden Pritchard. Not out of disrespect, I just don't have a lot to add to what you've already said. I think he's a good scorer, half court machine. Never seen anything like it. But at the end of the day, he's just Ty Jerome on a good team, and that just means I want to put him in the D tier above Ty Jerome. like,
Sure.
I don't like. There's not a place in my brain that you could tell me Peyton Pritchard is a better player than DeJounte Murray. It's hard with DeJounte because of the health, but
Yeah.
he's been an all-star. And Peyton Pritchard, I think there's like no way that's even possible in my mind.
I mean,
Um,
here's a hot take. I mean, maybe Peyton Pritchard most improved player.
yeah, I don't see it, but but if you do, I mean, he had a fine season. He's a fine player. It's just like
Yeah.
when you're a score first guard, and this one is small,
Yeah.
unlike Ty Jerome,
Yeah.
it's just hard to be that impactful unless you're the best of the best, and he's just not the best at really any of those skill sets. He's like good at most of them, but he's not like elite at any of them, I would
Totally.
say.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, top of D tier for sure. I feel that. Or back a C tier. We'll see how if things shake up. I never really thought I'd be going up to bat for Peyton Pritchard, but I feel a little bit like, we'll
Well, I
see.
think point guard is like it's the most stacked position. I think the
Totally,
on
totally.
average people go down a little more than you'd expect because point guard's so good.
Yeah, yeah, for
Um,
sure. And we
the
do want to try to keep it
Mavs,
even. We didn't really mention it, but we'll try to keep the tiers even so it's not too lopsided one way or another,
yeah.
or like a
Even though
bell
that's probably
curve.
disingenuous, but it makes my brain a little happier.
Yeah.
Um, Kyrie Irving, that's who starts at point guard for the Mavs,
Hmm.
theoretically. Funnily enough, he also did not play at all last season. And he had an injury that was only supposed to sideline him for the start of the season, but then he just never suited up and never came back. So here we go again. He's on the Mavericks, in case you forgot. I kind of forgot. Because I was like, that's the Cooper Flag team and the Zachary Risache team, and they don't have other players. No, they do have this guy still. And when he's there, he's a good scorer. People always talk about the handles being one of the best. I would agree with that. Pretty efficient in his scoring too, from both two and three. Not like I would say a fabulous playmaker, but an okay enough playmaker. I'm kind of interested to see him and Cooper Flag play off of one another. I think that could be kind of fun. But he's coming off of an injury that sidelined him for a whole season. How old do you think Kyrie Irving is now?
I'm gonna say 39.
That's crazy. He's 34.
Whoa!
Um,
I am so sorry. I did not realize he was that young. I don't know. I assumed he was like, yeah, Steph age.
yeah,
Anyways,
because
he just
when
seems like
he
it, I guess, to me.
on the championship Cavs in 2016, he was 23. So
Yeah.
yeah, he was pretty young on that team. Um, so like that being said, though, 34 is like I looked at, it, I was like, wow, that's old. Um, I don't know how well he will play being that age coming off of what I think was like a calf or like a leg or a knee, some kind of lower body injury. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was some.
I thought it was Achilles.
Isn't it? Wasn't it Achilles? Maybe
I'll
he
look
got
it up
it
right now.
towards the end of the 25 season, and that's why he was supposed to come back, but then he never came back.
It was a torn left ACL in March 2025.
It was an ACL. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And it was in the second half of the season. So he played a lot of 24, 25.
Yeah.
And he was out the rest, and he was out a whole nother year. So torn ACL at age 34 is tough to come back from. And I just don't think with his age and that injury, he's going to be as explosive as he has been in the past in terms of his handling, getting to the basket, slashing, that sort of thing. Still Kyrie Irving, still going to be pretty good. I just think he'll be less good than people are probably used to.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, you know, how far does it drop him in my estimation? Probably to like at highest, like the back of A tier feels right to me.
You're gonna go that high? Interesting. Okay.
Like Deontay George is better than Kyrie Irving. That would be kind of wild.
But I mean, it would be wild. But I'm also trying to think about the team. Like the
He's going to be
Mavericks are good.
important for the Mavs.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Because without, you won't be playing as much. Obviously, not with Luca and stuff like that. But Cooper Flags need the ball.
I would like you to guess all of Kyrie Irving's nicknames on Basketball Reference.
I can only do one. Uncle Drew. That's the only
Uncle
one I know.
Drew. Okay.
That is the only
Now,
one I know.
I want you to think about I want you to think about his handles. Okay. When you
Okay.
cross over someone, what are you doing?
You. I'm just cross them
What
over.
are you
I'm
doing to the other person? Like, what are the other person losing? Let's say.
their balance.
And
Off balance.
that comes from what part of their foot?
Heels.
No. What do you say? Like, come
On
on,
your toes. Stay on your toes.
you bastard. Ankles. You know, like cross taking your ankles. You never
They
heard that?
call him ankles.
They call him ankle taker, which is
That doesn't make any sense.
one of them is based on a one of one of his nicknames is based on a scientific theory that is absolutely wrong that he strongly believes in.
Wait, flat Earth?
Yeah, flat, just flat. Something LeBron. I've heard LeBron call him just like a nickname,
what is it?
one syllable. Just Kai.
Kai. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's World B flat, not just flat. I was misreading that.
Oh, world be flat.
That's pretty good. I
That's
was looking
so
at the
insane.
nicknames, and I feel like basketball reference nicknames are like there's like one I've heard of, and then there's just a bunch of garbage.
No.
Um, yeah, what were you gonna say? You want him in D tier?
I was thinking C tier, like top of C tier.
Wow.
But I can see like behind and like back of B tier for sure. I think Keontae George is gonna have a better season. I say
Okay.
the crazy. I think that because he's just like I don't know. Like a lot of the injuries, I trust the handles and stuff, but I just feel like his availability, like he won't be able to play as much. Like his minutes will be restricted just a bit more, just so he doesn't hurt himself again. You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Again, it's been a year and a half since watching, since you haven't seen Kyrie,
Right.
so like
Hard to estimate.
yeah,
You want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but who
yeah.
knows? those.
It's tough sometimes. It's tough sometimes. And now I got to talk about. Oh my God! It
Mm,
would be me. I would get this
mm,
one. Jesus Christ.
yes,
Okay. Talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Guess who's starting for them? LaMelo Ball,
that's right, baby.
my favorite player. Okay,
One year
so
you wanted to put LaMelo in C tier. That was awesome.
yeah, I'm not this year. Don't worry. Um, I think so. Okay, LaMelo Ball, incredible shooter. Really great. Elevating his teammates, like assists, running the fast break, like flashy. Very good at that. Doesn't play defense, but everything else he's very, very good at. He has great handles, passing, shooting. I watched him make like he was 9 of 17 this year. I saw him play against the Lakers, and I was like, that does from three, 9 of 17 from
Mhm.
three. I'm like, that's stupid. Like that's so crazy. No one should be taking 17. No, one person should not take 17 threes, but he did. It was the Hornets. So I want to say, all that being said, I was pretty low on him, and I don't like his attitude, and we've talked a lot about his personal stuff. Whatever, we're talking about basketball. I think change of scenery and a team that's competing is going to be good for him. I think I don't think he's going to win me over as like as a fan of the game, but I think he's going to be playing with more of a purpose. The injuries is the biggest question mark as well. Um, he's been unavailable, I would say, a lot of his career, except the one year he's All Star. Pretty sure, um,
Yeah, he played 72 last year.
which is great, and I hope that continues for sure. Um, I think it's going to be better because he's going to play with a sense of purpose. I really feel
Hmm.
that. I want. I'm. This is me giving the benefit of a doubt. I want to
Yeah.
believe that. I want to see that on the court. So that's what I'm projecting because obviously I like Anthony Edwards a lot. I think that as a backcourt they can be really, really good because Anthony Edwards can play with the defense. He can play off ball a little bit. Doesn't need the ball as much as LaMelo. So it's nice that he's going to have a point guard with him. I think the pairing's great. I think LaMelo could have an A tier season because of the back of A tier, but like I feel like it's possible because of the change of scenery and the team he's on. It's just gonna be a better team. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the culture will make a big difference. I hope. I think LaMelo has probably been the most, dominating culture on the Hornets since he's been there. And I don't think Anthony Edwards will allow that to occur on the Timberwolves. So I think he will kind of be forced to be a little bit smarter about some of the decisions that he makes, the dumb turnovers, the one-legged threes. It's like, why did you shoot that? Um, the attitude, things like that. So I do think those will be better this season. And then in terms of his play on the court, I say this not to offend you, but it's like it's like Luca light. The shooting is there, the playmaking is there, the lack of defense is there. Like it's pretty similar. It's just for a worse team and he's not as good at it, but he's still pretty good at it. And I think with the enhanced culture of the Timberwolves, there's a chance to make a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
um, but this is a guy that has like a hot Cheetos tattoo or whatever, so we'll see. Um,
Yeah, you ran over so good today, but
so
whatever. Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, A tier is looking at the players we have on here. I was like, A tier feels perfect for this.
Yeah.
Um,
This is
of
this is
course,
me.
yeah.
Sorry, go. What are you saying?
I was gonna say, of course, our goat Halliburton is ahead of him though.
Yeah. This is me publicly saying right now that like I want to believe in LaMelo Ball. This is the year that he can maybe convince me to be neutral about him. So we'll see.
It's either gonna be next year, or we're ranking Lamelo in the A tier again, or we're putting him in like F tier because something
Yeah, I'm just gonna
disastrous
some
happened.
disaster that happened. Yeah. Yeah, I can see
Oh,
that. We'll see. I'm trying to. We'll see.
dude, point guards are stacked.
Truly.
Dude, do you want to take this one too? I know you're a big fan of this player.
Yeah, I can take IQ. I feel like I've taken two, so you should, like already. Anyways, we'll figure out. I'm not.
Have you taken the last two?
No, I did Luca. I guess I did that two in a row. So then like
Is that
now I'm gonna.
true? I don't think that's true. We had Kyrie in between.
No, I remember when Luca came out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I will take IQ. Um,
Okay.
because I want to talk about him. Emmanuel quickly. Um, I like to call him Emmanuel Big Contract quickly. Because he's on a big contract and he didn't play that much last year. Um, when Emmanuel quickly is at his best, he lives up to the name. He's very quick. He can get to the basket. I like what he's able to do in the mid range. I think his shooting can be a little bit better, but I think he's a very solid point guard. Now, as a starter on a team that wants to compete, it's tougher because he is a score first guard, like you keep mentioning. And he also didn't get to play that much last year, and I don't know how much he's going to play this year. I want to think that he would play, you know, 70, more than 70 games. But that's the biggest question mark for him, at least for me. The Raptors, obviously, trading for Kawhi Leonard, want to make the most of it, and I think they can make the most of it. With Emmanuel Quigley as the point guard, if he can buy into, like passing more and not as scoring first as much, then maybe I have to believe that he's going to buy into that. Um, so I'm biased, so you should say a little bit more about Emmanuel before I'm like, we should put him here.
How many games do you think Emmanuel played last year?
I'm going to say 22.
See, it's interesting because when I was thinking about this, I was like, man, he's been really injured. He played 70 games last year.
Did he really? I watched.
7-0.
Did I
He
miss
played
every game he
a
played? Because I watched like half the
lot.
Raptors games. I must have missed it or something.
Because the 2 years before, he played 33 and 38 games. So he was not playing that much. And then last year, he played 70 games, which I just feel like I didn't even notice him exist
I
on
was
the
watching
basketball
them.
court. He
What
played 32 minutes a game in 70 games.
was he starting?
Started all 70 of them. Um, I'm like, I don't even remember that happening. What the hell? I remember Scotty
Dude,
Barnes. That's like the only thing
I
I
remember
remember from
Scotty
the
Barnes
Raptors.
and like Brandon Ingram, and then I remember RJ Barrett
Yeah.
being out a lot, and then seeing a lot of Mamu out there and
Yes, Mama.
Hurdle
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So I mean,
But 16 and 6. That's those were his averages on some not great efficiency. That's the
yeah,
thing. If you're going to be a score first guard, you got to do it efficiently.
yeah.
And he hasn't really ever done it that efficiently. Um, so you would like to see that improve. I mean, 37% from three is not terrible.
Hmm.
44% from the field's not great. It's like average score first guard. Which on this Raptors team last year that we were talking about with Scotty Barnes, who also likes to score, and Brandon Ingram, who is also likes to score, and are just a lot of guys that like to have the ball in their hands and score. So you would like to have a facilitator, and they still don't really have that. Um, but they have a bunch of guys that want the ball in their hands. And I don't know if Emmanuel quickly playing 70 games and me forgetting he exists is a bad thing. I guess it probably is. It's like
Yeah.
the
I
numbers are
mean,
there,
that's
but I
shocking
don't
to me.
remember
Yeah.
when I watched that you did anything. It's like that's not great. So he feels like he kind of goes in this Peyton Pritchard, Ty Jerome tier. But I think in my mind, I think he's better than those players. But then I didn't even realize he played basketball last year. Um, I do think he's a better defender than both by a decent amount, and he's only 6'2", so being a short, relatively okay defender, that could be also me just thinking about the Raptors as a team being good defensively
Yeah.
and maybe giving him a little too much credit individually. But that's kind of the tier of player he feels like. Score first guard that doesn't do a whole lot else.
Yeah, it's so messed up. As I was like back of B tier for sure, and then I found out that he played 70 games, and I watched. I know for sure I watched at least like 30 Raptors games, and that the math needs to make more sense because I don't remember seeing him that much on the court. Um, feel like back of C tier or front of D tier because I kind of feel like he kind of fits in with the Dejounte thing too, a little bit, but I feel like Dejounte there's less. people that need the ball with the Pelicans, right? It's like just mostly him and Zion and Jordan Poole, but whatever. So he has more opportunity, I feel like, to have a better season. But that's where my head goes.
Point guard. This is an odd tier list so far. This is
It's not our fault.
strange.
It's their fault. This is not our fault, man.
You want to take three in a row? And I like this guy too.
Sure. I mean, I will.
I'll,
I can.
I'll talk about him a little bit.
Tell me about him.
Here's a guy in Jalen Suggs that always feels like he's injured, even though he does play a fair amount in the regular seasons, except like 2 years ago, and he was like really just not there.
Yeah.
But I think he just gets injured also in the playoffs a lot, which is bad. Um, and he is not a score first guard. He's a defense first guard that has gotten better at spacing the floor as his career has gone on. He's still not great at it. He's still not a 3-point shooter, I would say, reliably. And he's still not really a playmaker. So all he does is play defense, and he gets paid a lot of money to do it. Um, and I think this is another team that could really benefit from you know, just to throw out the skill sets, the Luca, the Halliburton, the LaMelo, guys like that we've talked about that are kind of playmaking guards. He's not that, and I think that would be something that would really elevate the Magic to another level because they have a lot of guys that want the ball in their hand too. Now, that's not his fault as a player, but you want as a point guard to develop that skill set. And I guess traditionally he's like a shooting guard, but the Magic are a huge team, so he's a point guard. But even as a shooting guard, he doesn't shoot. So he gotta pick up some of these skills. So it's like I want to project him high because I like the idea of Jalen Suggs in my mind. But when I really think about it, he's not a great scorer. He's not a great like when I say scorer, I mean like slasher, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's not a great shooter. He's not a great playmaker. Really, all he does is play defense. Um, and that just means you're like Matisse Thybulle at the point guard position, which feels disrespectful. But he just doesn't do that much. And like, I don't know. I wish I could see more growth.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he shot from three last year on
Um,
6 attempts a game?
I'm gonna say 29%.
So he shot 34%, which is like still below average,
Okay.
and it was one of his higher seasons. And he only averaged 14 points and 5.5 assists is decent, especially because Paolo in front had the ball a lot. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's if you could take Jalen Suggs and like give him Anthony Black's playmaking, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But that's not who he is. So I'm thinking low on this list, but I'm not sure how low. What do you got?
Mm. Yeah, you make a lot of good points, and I was thinking that out of all the players, that I'm like a big fan of, he's probably one of the ones I'm more, I don't say down on, because I still like him quite a bit, and I love his hustle, and it's unmatched. It's very hard to come across that in a point guard, especially. That being said, as a point guard, you should be able to do a bit more to help your team out, and the Magic are, at this point, notoriously known for struggling because they don't have someone like that.
Hmm.
So it's a detriment to the team. He's the one guy, kind of. He definitely, leads this defense. This like that the Orlando Magic can have like this very like physical defense, but he's the one guy that's kind of like doesn't fit as much. I feel like unless you want to talk about like Paolo and Franz together, but we're talking about
Hmm.
Suggs. I'm more down on him than a lot of the players I'm a fan of because of that. Um, and I maybe it's tough because I'm like thinking about this next season, right? And I'm like, I think I would maybe think Peyton Pritchard has a better season. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think better than
Thank you,
Ty
Will.
Jerome, but Peyton Pritchard's going to have just more opportunity, and he's yeah. I don't know. I feel bad. I can't. I don't think I can put him in C tier at this point.
They're like 2 years ago we put Jalen Suggs in F tier. Maybe we were on to something.
F tier, yeah.
We had him in F tier, I remember.
I'm
Uh,
sure I argued to put him
it
up
was
when we
probably his
watched
rookie
him.
year or something.
Hmm.
Oh no, his
I
rookie
think
year we weren't even
injuries.
making this podcast.
Yeah, I think it was just
Um,
injury like issues, and we
yeah,
haven't really talked that much about injury. Like, injuries is a huge thing for him too, like his
yeah,
availability.
yeah.
So
Bro, just be
it's
running
tough.
around like you
I'll,
said with
I'll
Grady Dick a couple years ago. You just be
I
running
know,
around.
and I turned that around, but I mean, I'm still a fan of Suggs. So, and Grady Dick, new look Dick. That's what we call him. He's on the Clippers. Allegedly, we'll see.
You take two in a row, and then I take two in a row
Take it.
with another guy, the third guy coming off of an injury that cost him the entire last season. Fred Van Fleet. Definitely going to be our starter, as he started every game. He's been a Rocket when he's healthy, so he will definitely start for us. But he missed all last season because he got injured in the preseason, ACL or something like that. Um, and it was noticed because our offense was bad. We did not have any ball movement, any playmaking, anything like that. And Fred, he's another one of those guys that you don't really think of him, I think, traditionally as a playmaker, but he is like smart enough to know that, or like the right reads to make at the very least. Um, Whereas last season, a lot of our offense was just like, I hate when they do this, but it's like we have a center on the inside and four guys on the wing, and they're just passing it. There's
Yeah.
no plays or anything. It's like we're just passing iso balling it. So I'm happy that he's returning to help us not do that. And I think he's been pretty good as a Rocket. He's been better than I expected. I know I was originally pretty not bought in on the big contract we gave him, but I think he kind of proved me wrong a little bit, especially that first season he was a Rocket. I think was really good. Uh, Second one, not so much. And then, of course, he wasn't here last year. So we really haven't seen Fred and KD together. That'll be interesting. Um, Now we have like kind of a new Amon Thompson in a way. So it'll be an interesting kind of combination of people. And I think Fred will likely lead us to some amount of regular season success. Should be healthy because he was off all last season, hopefully. Um, he's really, really short. He's like 6 feet exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, not a great defender, I think. Like he's been an okay defender at times, but 32 years old coming off an ACL, I don't think 6 feet tall. I don't think he's gonna be some great defender. But I think he'll do the job in terms of running the offense, and he's a good shooter,
Yeah.
which we definitely need because our spacing was tough at times last year. Looking at our list, I'm thinking, he's feeling like a C tier to me, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
can be open.
I was thinking top of C just because I feel like he'll the Rockets need him really, and they will use him and because they missed him so much last year. Like even though with KD there, like I feel like KD can play off the ball a bit and he'll have the ball, but Fred Van Fleet will be able to still like just orchestrate things a lot better than it was last year. Be less clunky, and I feel like they're going to be a better team than the Pelicans. Raptors are different, but that's just a Emmanuel Quickly thing, not a team thing. So I'm excited to see Fred back.
Freddie Van Fleety. Um, yeah. I don't know. The Rockets can go ahead and just rebuild again. I think that'll be all right.
That would be crazy, man. He just went through so much of that, dude. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
All right. Okay. I'll take the okay. All right. MVP. Shea
Two in
Gilgeous-Alexander.
a row.
Two in a row. I mean, S tier for sure. Elite scorer. Elite defender. I would say he's a very, very good defender.
Hmm.
Very crafty. Can score at all three levels. Somehow seems to keep I don't want to say keep getting better, but he just still is so surprising to watch. Like just the way he's able to get to the hoop, and he draws a lot of fouls. So that's going to be everyone's biggest complaint about him. But if they're giving it to him and he's taking it, I can't be mad at him, right? So um, he's just great at everything he does. Another player that has great footwork, can do the pull around jumper, can get to the hoop, can shoot the three, can get the steal, lead the break. And the thing is, the Thunder lost a few pieces. They had to trade away Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort. I'm not saying SGA is going to have to do more this year, but he's going to have less people around him than he's had for the last few years that he could depend on to shoot and things like that. Just several people there that he can trust. Obviously, Cason Wallace, J-Dub is still there. Shea's an S-tier player. I feel like as reigning MVP, it'd kind of be messed up not to put him at the top of S tier. I like Luka more, and that's called bias. So, but after everything I said, I feel like SGA probably should be the top of S because he can defend the ball like crazy. I just love the way Luka gets everyone else involved. That's the one thing that I think he has going for him as opposed to SGA. That's the biggest difference. And the defense, of course. But how are you feeling about SGA this upcoming season? Do you think it's going to be a three-peat?
Hmm. Yeah, I could see the three-peat happening. It feels like they didn't give Jokic a three-peat because they were like, well, we can't give him a three-peat. And I feel like they don't really care about that anymore. Because then they just were like, now we'll give Jokic the third one.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with the pieces that are no longer there, he will take on even more of kind of a defensive burden with Lou Dort being gone, probably scoring in bunches as he's done the last three to four seasons. So he's going to be very good, and he's going to be one of the best. And I also would put him at the top of the S tier because I think he is going to be even more important to the Thunder than he was the last 2 years where he won MVP. So, um, just seems like that's where he should be. I think his defense, outweighs Luka's playmaking if you had to compare the two, because I think he's not like a bad playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Luka's just like an elite playmaker.
Yeah.
But he still, he uses the fact that he gets into the paint with such ease to dish out to people for open threes and stuff. Um, so he still does play make. It's just obviously Luka's like another level. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would put him. I'd put him in S tier. Yeah, well,
We're in
on
agreement.
top of S tier, I guess. Obviously, he's S
Yeah.
tier. Oh, Shea's
Yeah.
gonna have a B tier season.
Yeah, he's gonna take a back seat on this one. I think he can kind of not have to worry about the ball too much.
The Wizards, who the fuck? Oh yeah, Trae Young.
I was like,
It's like who's
your
their point
favorite.
guard?
I'm kidding.
This guy Trae Young got traded to the Wizards and then played 5 games, which was awesome. Um, that's kind of crazy. He only played 15 games last season.
Mm-hmm.
His injury was just a quad injury. They didn't even mark like it wasn't like a actual season-ending injury. They were like, just sit down. All right. What do we know about Trae Young? Same old, same old. He scores, he shoots, he is a decent playmaker. Um, and he doesn't play defense and he doesn't move off the ball, which are two big. No, if Trae Young played defense and moved off the ball, he could be Steph Curry. That's what he's missing. Um, Not really. It's a little more complicated than that, but I think that is kind of the two, you know, the ways you can be this kind of player, or two extremes, I guess, that you can be this kind of player. Um, the Wizards are going to be a strange team. They're going to be a strange team. Is Anthony Davis still going to be there? Are they playing DeBonsta and him? And then you have Trae Young, and then you have like Chris Middleton is there again. Like this team is going to be so weird.
Mm-hmm.
This mix of really old guys and really young guys, and Trae Young is at the helm of it. So it probably won't be the Trae Young show like he wants it to be. And I really just, at this point, I just got to see it to believe it. Like I just got to see him not play Trae Young ball the whole time. It's like, it reminds me of like James Harden with the Rockets, where it's just he has the ball the whole time and no one else does anything, and he's just like he's dribbling and then he's passing and that person shoots. Um, Something that I think teams like the Thunder, or just talking about Shea, have done really well is have a guy like Jalen Williams who is a secondary ball handler and secondary creator. So it's not always the ball in one guy's hands, and that gives your offense a little bit of variety. Even the Mavs when they had Luca and like Brunson, for example, the Lakers, Luca, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, they have other guys that can do it. It just makes it less predictable, I think. And Trey Young is not he's not Luca or Tyrese Halliburton even in terms of running the offense. I don't think he's as good as those players. Um, Yet he kind of always wins the ball. So it's interesting because he's like good enough to do it on a team that doesn't matter that much. um, but if you want to be a good team, I think there has to be a little bit more variety. I think at
Mm.
this point in his career, um, I'm kind of over it in a way. I don't think I would put him in the same tier as Lamelo and Halliburton. I definitely wouldn't. Um, so does that mean he's B tier? I guess C tier feels kind of disrespectful, but I'm in between the two.
Yeah, I was thinking B tier because I'm also thinking about the environments. Who's on the Wizards now? It's like um, he's gonna play. He's gonna show off. That's what he does. Underrated part of his game is his floater. I think his floater is so cool. I like that a lot in
Yeah,
his game.
it's a good call.
It's been a while since I've seen it because you didn't play
All
then.
right.
But yeah, everything you said, totally agree with. And I just think this is, everyone was so high on him on the Hawks, and then slowly started going down, 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 and then they finally traded him, which I think was the right decision. And now this is his year. He can show everyone like he can decide which Trey Young are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the one that's like the elite guy that's why the Atlanta Hawks literally traded with the Mavericks to get him, right? Are we gonna get that guy, and now he's gonna prove himself, and then maybe end up somewhere else, like to show that he's still relevant, or is he just gonna like kind of go with it, go with the flow, and just be what he's always done? And I think it's probably the latter. It's probably just gonna be what he's done, and not really progress too much, especially with injuries too. Like that matters. So back a B tier because I think when he's at his best, he's really, really good. There's so many question marks and availability, and this Washington Wizards team. Like I kind of want to have like Trey Johnson start or Bub or and then Keyshawn George is pushed out of the. It's just like so many of these young guys I want to play more honestly than Trey Young. I mean, if AD's not there, then maybe it helps a little bit, but don't worry, they got DeAndre Ayton too. If you forgot, so
Mm. It's gonna be an electric front court.
I forgot about Chris
Um,
Middleton. That was a good pull. Forgot about him.
this team is so wild. We're halfway done. It's 10:25. Um,
Oh,
oh, I just that was gonna land on
that was the Bucks. I saw it.
I was gonna land on the Bucks, and then I clicked the Celtics on accident. Um,
All
okay,
right,
tell me about Ryan Rollins.
Ryan Rollins. Okay, so young player, good at defense. He's gonna have a lot to prove. I know he's a lot of upside. People are really high on him. That he can just get better, especially now. Just with this team as it is, it's like everyone can now just kind of show what they can do and then go from there. I think the Ryan Rollins though is one of those players that can really now just play his game. I think he'll be able to do more offensively than he has in the past, and defend well like he has, and just keep progressing. I haven't watched a lot of him, but that's what I've been hearing and what I remember seeing. Um, so I don't know if there's any more to add.
How many games do you think Ryan Rollins started for the Bucks last year?
Say 52.
67, which is kind of wild. How many points do you think he averaged?
I think like 5 points. It's not a lot.
17.
Whoa!
Dude, he had a crazy year
Really?
last year.
That
It's another forgotten year.
dude,
The
that's
year
great.
before you were close. He played 56 games and averaged 6 points. So he already
So,
had the year you're talking about.
oh, okay,
It
very cool.
happened.
All right.
Yeah, I think the Bucks were just such a disaster last season. No one was really trying to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, 47% from the field, 41% from three. Good defense. 5.5 assists, 17 points. You know what this sounds like? Better Jalen Suggs. That's
You take that back.
that's kind of Jalen Suggs, except he can shoot the ball. And on this Bucks team, I think, like you said, you were right. He will have more opportunity. It'll be weird trying to fit Tyler Hero in, trying to fit Khalil Ware in. They also have a kind of a weird, wonky roster after that trade. So it'll be kind of interesting to see. But I think when I looked at it, um, having him as the starting point guard definitely made sense because otherwise it would be Kevin Porter Jr., which nobody wants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or like you'd have to move Hero to the point guard so you could slide Gary Trent Jr. in here or something. But I don't think we're trying to do that either. So, uh, where do you think Ryan Rollins should go?
I believe in his upside. I feel like he's going to have a pretty good season. Considering also the Bucks like are just like play, just try not to be the bottom three seed and just play.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I could see like top of like C tier, back of B.
Wow, that's high. I was worried I was going to have to push for higher. Um, I don't know if I was going to go that high. So I
What were
do
you
think he'll
thinking?
be good. Well, I don't know. It's a good question. I think it's hard. I think I'm biased towards Ryan Rollins. So I wanted him to have a really good season, and then he did.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, yes, Ryan Rollins. Like, I don't know. I feel like, wow, this is hard.
Just pick, man. Hey, put him. Hey, yeah,
Like something like that. I don't know. That's hard. Oh, we'll talk about it
yeah, yeah. We'll figure it out.
later.
Can you also can you? I totally forgot Karis LeVert is on his Bucks team. When did that happen? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he got traded from the Pistons or whatever.
That's what it
Oh
was.
boy, let's talk about John Morant, the starting point guard for the Blazers,
Tell me
because
about
they announced that they're starting him and Damian Lillard.
him.
Um, Woof. So let's we'll treat Ja as the point guard and Damian Lillard as the shooting guard, since
Hmm.
Damian Lillard is obviously a great shooter, so that makes sense. How many games did John Morant play for the Memphis Grizzlies last year?
12.
20. Um, and the last couple of years has been questionable. The
Yep.
off-court stuff, in with the gun or whatever. But then even like there's the one where the coach Isolo was yelling at him in the locker room about the way he was carrying himself. That was a whole ordeal. So it's been a lot. It's a new environment. They traded for him, so they have some sort of belief in him. Can he turn it around? Damian Lillard's there, who I firmly believe is a good culture guy that can maybe help. Um, I like the hiring of Mike Nori. I like, well, not the way they hired him, but
Yeah.
the hiring at least. And how is the culture going to be different than what John Morant was doing in Memphis? I don't know. Will he come back to be a good player? I hope so. And when he is a good player, he's, I think, kind of an elite slasher for his position. A lot of athleticism, verticality, all that fun stuff. His shooting has been up and down throughout his career. So last season it was not very good, 23%
Dude.
from three. Yeah,
Jeez.
that's pretty bad. Um, Turnovers bad. 8 assists, that's decent. So what John Morant are we getting is the question mark. This is one of those that the variance I think is really high. Um, because he could have a good season or he could have whatever he did last season, and I don't know how to estimate that. Um, so all that being said, mm, no, feels like probably behind the guys in B tier.
That's where my head went because
Yeah.
I think, like you said, change of scenery will be good. I think that now he's not expected to be the guy might be good for him. Um, because you have like oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? I know it. Oh,
Probably.
oh my god. Anyways,
Who are
I
you
can
talking
pull
about?
it up in front of me. No, I don't want you to say it. I don't
Okay.
want you to say it because it's Denny Avdia. I knew it was a D and an A, and I couldn't in my head. I just kept thinking DeAndre Ayton. I was like, it's not Deon. I know it's not that Denny Avdia. Oh my god. Now that he last year he was their guy. He was the guy, right? And now Damian Lillard is back. He has been the guy for the Trailblazers. I think he will be again. I think it'll be good for Ja just to go out there and like play his basketball without having to worry about like being the guy. Um, I'm curious to see what version we get, but I want to, like you said, like Portland believes because they traded for him. I also want to believe in Demetrius, so I say back a beater.
Yeah. Tibetrius Morant. I was trying to think of how to phrase that, and it
B
didn't really.
Beatrius, B but Demetrius.
Yeah, it didn't come out the way I wanted.
It's all good, man.
Despair.
This is doing this is reminding me of. It's reminding me that I miss basketball because I haven't watched it that much. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm blanking on names and stuff. Like, it's just been so long since I've really
Yes.
had to just like sit in it, in the thick of it. Jamal
Yes,
Murray,
blood.
you get it. All right, Jamal Murray. Let's talk about him. So
Let's.
last year was his first time being an All Star, and well deserved, I believe so. Him and Jokic have had an incredible two-man game all this whole.
Oh, he said it.
I know there's a time in Denver they won a championship. Last year was a bit of a bust. The fact that the Wolves beat them even without um, who got injured?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Anthony Edwards. He didn't even play like a game or
Mm.
two. Yeah. Um, so last year was rough because that was probably the best team surrounding Jokic and Murray that they've ever had, and now it's imploded in on itself, and the roster isn't like super great. So that means Jamal Murray probably has to do more than he did before. I think Jamal Murray is going to have a really good year. He can shoot, he can play make. He can be pretty clutch. I've seen him be clutch firsthand against my Lakers. Apparently, against the Lakers, he just becomes like gold in clutch. He's just like perfect. And the chemistry is there with Jokic. I think he's a great player that doesn't have a lot of like bad things. Maybe he doesn't play like defense like super great, but I think he's fine on defense. And I think he can get kind of hunted. So if he gets tired, then he's not as effective. But what I like about him is that even if he's not having a good game, he's still going to go out there and like play. Um, and I think Jamal Murray's a great player. So I'm kind of leaning probably like back at A tier. But what about you?
He's good. He scores efficiently and clutch, as you mentioned. I think his playmaking is not like, all worldly, but I think it does get a little underrated because Jokic is, so heralded for his. But Jamal Murray is a good secondary ball handler playmaking option. How many assists do you think he averaged last year?
I'm gonna say like 4.
7.1.
Great,
Right.
great.
Yeah, he's like he 25 and 7. Like those are great averages.
Hmm.
And obviously the eye test supports that. My thought was putting Jamal Murray above LaMelo Ball.
Cool.
Because I think the depth is going to be a big issue for the Nuggets. So
Yeah,
his minutes really have to matter. So um and I think they will. He proved it last year. I think he will continue to prove it this year.
absolutely. It's cool to see that we're believers in Jamal Murray. I feel like a lot
I'm
of
a
people are.
believer. Believer. That's not.
You went there. I went totally different way with believer, but hey, there
Sounds
are people.
terrible.
There are people
Whatever
who
way you
go.
went was the right way.
There's the people who do like the monkeys when I saw her face, and then the people that go to Imagine Dragons. There's like that's the duality. So
Yours was better. I will tell you about Mr. Joshua Giddey. Um,
Talk to me.
You know, here's what I said. I said there was Luca, and then LaMelo was Luca light, and Josh Giddey is LaMelo light. He just can't shoot, which is bad. Um, that being said, he shot 36%, which is like not terrible last year from three. Now that I'm looking at it, so yeah, maybe he can shoot better than they give him credit for. Average the most points he has had was a good playmaker. Like he is a lot of the things that you see from these elite level guards, like Luca, like Halliburton, like LaMelo. He just isn't quite as good at them, I think, in a meaningful way that will contribute to winning. So the skill set's there. We just have to polish around the edges, I think, which he can do because he is still only 23, despite playing 5 seasons in the NBA already. Um, because that's what happens in the NBA. You come in nice and young. So I think this season, he'll add to that. I'm excited for the Bulls. New coach, Tiago, new direction. They're really committed to, I think, Giddy being the core identity of this team, getting rid of Kobe White and Io last year and other guys that were kind of had the ball in their hands on this team. So it's going to be the Giddy show, and I think that he'll do a pretty good job. So much so that I would put him definitely in the B tier. I think he's definitely above Trey Young. Like I feel like I believe in Josh Giddey a little more than Trey Young. I don't really know if I have good reason for that. I think me, I'm kind of an efficiency guy, and Trey Young is so inefficient that it bothers me.
Totally.
And it's not like Josh Giddey is a great defender, even though he's tall.
He's
Um,
like 6'6", yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of where I think. But what do you think?
Yeah, I was seeing B tier as well because I think with this Bulls team especially, he has people that can theoretically shoot around him. I mean, Norman Powell is going to be great for this team, and I think he'll be able to get those assist numbers. I love that he runs the break, which is also something kind of different than a few of the other players that can assist in like the B. Like I don't think Trey Young runs the break super great, or even John Morant. So like I like Josh Giddey being probably behind Kyrie because just Kyrie is kind of legendary with
Hmm.
his scoring and his like handles and the ability to to score. But I think what I like about Josh Giddey is that he elevates the people around him very well, and he's been getting better at scoring. And he's also a triple double. Like he's flirts with that like every night basically, and I think that's a great hallmark of a good player. So I think he'll be this 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 is the first time he'll be playing for the Bulls, and he'll be like optimistic. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think I'm excited to see that this version of the Bulls.
Yes, Josh Giddey. Yes, Queen.
Yes, get it, Slay. All right, let's talk about CJ McCollum. I
CJ.
was waiting for it to go. Okay, CJ McCollum. All right. Interestingly, to me, kind of had like a bounce back year. I think so. Got to the Hawks, and then in the playoffs gave the Knicks like what 2 losses, right?
Yes, the only team
Which
in the playoffs to
which
do
made
it.
which made them, it made him, people talk about him again. He got signed to another $21 million year. CJ McCollum is really great at scoring, and he's just a little bit on the smaller side. To me, he's more of a shooting guard, if I'm being honest.
He is.
Um, yeah, but on this Hawks team, he'll start at the point guard. He can score. He can get to the hoop. He can shoot. Defense is pretty decent, and playmaking is not great. That's my one question mark with this Hawks team. Is like I don't know who's going to be creating for these guys. Um, no, like Nikhil is probably the best at it, but is he coming off the bench? We haven't even talked about that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Um, so that makes question mark. So he'll have to probably play make more than he's used to. So I think he'll probably play a little. He'll have more assists than maybe in the past. That being
Jalen
said,
Johnson season loading.
and CJ McCollum, he's just older too. To keep that in mind. But I think he's still going to have like a good solid season for the Hawks, and I like him fitting in on this team. Um, I kind of have an idea in my head of where on the tier list he's going. What do you think?
Yeah. Tommy, if you heard this before, score first guard. Too short. But we love CJ. He has that veteran kind of know-how where, like the ball in his hands, I'm just going to trust a little more than some of the other guys I've mentioned, like Ty Jerome, Peyton Pritchard, Emmanuel Quickley. Um, and he proved that in the playoffs against the Knicks. So I think he's good. Um, I think he is, you know, at this point in his career, probably he's 34. He's about to be 35. I didn't think he was that old. Um, Unk McCollum. I think he'll do his job, and I don't think his job will be that much because with the as good of a season as Nikhil had last season, as Jalen Johnson continues to kind of ramp up, I think there'll be less reason for CJ to need the ball in his hands, and that just means that he'll kind of do his job, but his job might not be that involved, and that makes me want to put him in the C tier. I think.
I was thinking C tier too. I was a little didn't know about placement because I'm like I think Ryan Rollins could maybe have a better season because he has to be on.
No, I gotta tell you, I keep looking at Ryan Rollins, and I'm like, I want to keep moving this guy up, but we'll talk about it
Okay.
later. C.J. McCollum,
Yeah, I like that. Hey, C. Wait, what does the C stand for? C tier.
C tier.
C tier Unk column. There we go.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
I'm so glad you got this guy because I couldn't. What I said last year, I said this year.
Well, let's talk about Yegor Gilman. Um, he missed the second half of the year with like plantar fasciitis in his
Mhm.
foot. But before then, he was doing like better than I thought because I thought he was just going to be kind of a lumbering playmaker guy, but he didn't really look like he had the kind of footwork or speed as some of the big playmakers we've talked about already. Um, and he was not supposed to be a great shooter, but he did shoot well percentage wise. 6 attempts a game, 38.5%. That's fine. Um, but it's hard to evaluate people in the Nets because the Nets were horrible and will probably be horrible again. And I don't think he's that good of a defender, and I don't think his playmaking was as good as I thought it was going to be. It's a really tough evaluation from a player standpoint and from a team standpoint 'cause there's just not a lot of expectations, and that just makes me want to put him really low, but not because I think he's going to be a bad player. I just don't care as much about this team. Uh, so like I don't know who I would put him above on this
That's
list.
like I said. What I said last year for this guy is I haven't watched a minute of him play basketball, so I don't know really anything. You should just make a tier that says Nets. There we go. I mean, I
Mm,
just put him in the F tier. I have no frame of reference whatsoever for like what he can do for the Nets. Is he going to elevate them to it, the playoffs? Like, I don't think they're going to be top six. Play in, probably. I don't see that. It's like, yeah, it's just, and I feel I do. There's a couple teams right like didn't watch any of last year. I do want to watch the Nets this year because I hate myself. I want to torture myself.
oh my
Uh,
god!
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm kidding.
hate myself. That's
No, I
crazy.
don't. I just want to make an effort more to watch like every team at least a little bit.
Yeah, there's just when there's
Yeah,
15 games on a night, the Nets aren't
yeah,
aren't coming to the screen very often.
true. And I mean, like all these different like websites now. It's like, are they going to be on Peacock or Prime? Probably not. So it's like, how do I watch these games? But anyways, I
Legally,
got
of
D
course.
Book. I got D Book.
You're
Devin Booker. Stop me if you heard this before. Score first. Um, but he's an elite scorer. This guy can score, and also I will say like
this
my
guy is a shooting guard, but
he is
alas.
definitely a shooting guard. My opinion of him has kind of changed over the last few years. I'm used to not be the biggest fan, but I think I've kind of grown to like him a bit more. Maybe the older he gets, the less like vain he seems.
Mm.
And I like that he is just
It was when he played defense in the Olympics, huh? That's what won you over.
probably, I can't pinpoint it, but it's probably that. And then last year, how good the Suns were when they were projected not to be that good. Like I respected that a lot, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, Devin Booker scores at all three levels. Can play defense when he's on the Olympics, and longest tenured Sun too, which is kind of crazy. I'm not super optimistic about the Suns team. I wasn't last year either. They just have like two guys I don't like that much, but then they have two guys I really like. Jordan Goodwin being one, shout out. Um,
Love us some Jordan Goodwin. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yes, but yeah, Devin Booker's just elite at what he does. And he's one of the best scorers in the league. I'd probably say top, at least point guard. Like maybe like I'd put him in the top five. I'd probably put him actually.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
like if I'm looking at this list exactly,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
like, I could see him top above Halliburton just because of how good he's at scoring. But
Yeah,
I
he's definitely more of a
love,
scorer than Halliburton, for
yeah, but
sure.
I'm a sucker for anyone that gets the game. Sorry, that gets the team involved with the game. So like anyone that just
Yeah.
like averages like a lot of assists, and I don't think Devin Booker is that guy. I don't know how many assists he averaged last year. I'd probably say like five or six. Um,
It
this
was six.
nice.
Exactly.
So like he's good at that, of course. But then when they got Chris Paul, they really were able to unlock him, and that's when they made it to the finals. So,
Right.
obviously as a point guard, it's not his thing, but he's really good at what he does. Not a lot of flaws in his game. I think he's 29 or 30. He's still like basically in his prime.
29.
Nice. So I'd say probably top at A tier, but I could be convinced of like movement around just because of certain factors. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's weird. Kind of like CJ McCollum. This is a shooting guard and a point guard tier list, but he is going to play the point guard for this team because I was like, it's either him or Jalen Green, and I watched Jalen Green on the Rockets. That brother does not play make, so it is definitely going to be Devin Booker as their quote unquote point guard. Unless they do something crazy and start like Jordan Goodwin and Devin Booker or something, that'd be nuts. But
Hmm.
probably Jalen Green, Devin Booker, so this makes sense. Um, Great scorer, like we talked about on three levels. You mentioned playmaking has gotten better every year. That Chris Paul has left because he's had to take on more and more of that role. And I think that it will continue to be good. And I was thinking right above Jamal Murray is where I was thinking. Because I
Cool.
like, I have Halliburton bias, so, that's on me a little bit. But
Yeah, I like how Halliburton, anyone that can almost average a triple double is just, to me, is like, that's my
you're,
weakness, I think.
that's what we care about in this podcast, triple doubles only. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite players,
I'm,
Russell Westbrook.
I'm also reading a book about Magic Johnson right
Joke.
now, so, just a lot
We
about
don't
that.
actually care about triple doubles as a stat. We just think that it's sometimes accurate in terms of your contribution to basketball.
Sure, sure, sure.
Why don't you take this guy as well?
I would love to. All right,
You're a
Philadelphia
fan.
76ers. They're going to be a very interesting team this year. We got Tyrese Maxey,
Mm,
favorite of
you're
mine. This guy just keeps getting better too, which is what's crazy.
true. One
He's
most improved player 3 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
He's like just keeps
is.
improving. It's like he he's he's very fast. He can score very easily. He can score at all three levels. At this point, this is the point where we start repeating ourselves, right? But what I like a lot about him is that he does play with that hustle, and he keeps getting better, and also he's clutch. Like I think that's kind of like
Hmm.
he is able to get the ball in his hands and then make something happen and bring teams back from behind forward and like I love that. Like I don't know if it's a Philly thing, but I'm gonna congratulate him because he doesn't give up. I love that in a player, especially a point guard, makes people around him better. Definitely likes to score more than I would say like pass the ball, but
Hmm.
uh, but he's very good at that. He's very good at reading who's open. Him and Oubre, like their connection last year was awesome. I love seeing that, and this year he's gonna have Jalen Brown and LeBron James in there. It's like a lot of mouths to feed is what everyone's saying, right? But like, I think this is going to be a good formula for them. I think Tyrese Maxey's just going to maybe his averages get lower because there's two other like elite scorers and players on the team, but he's still going to have a very good season. Maybe a bit more efficient. I mean, that's like his only thing like that I can think of that's like not super great. I feel like sometimes he can just put up shots and like miss here and there. Um, I like Tyrese Maxey a lot. So A tier. I just don't know where.
You could convince me that Tyrese Maxey should be after Luca. Um,
That is, and I would please tell me more.
it's kind of wild, I think, that, for the 76ers, a lot of the storyline, of course, right now, Jaylen Brown, LeBron, whoa, big deal in the offseason, obviously. And I think a lot of the story over the last couple seasons has been Joel Embiid's unavailability, whereas Tyrese Maxey is constantly there. He averaged most minutes in the season in the NBA last season, 38 minutes per game, and played 70 games, and he averaged 28 and six and a half. On like pretty good shooting, 46%, 37 from three. Like that's pretty good for your lead ball handler. Uh, and like you mentioned earlier, it just seems to keep getting better and better and better. And then they beat the Celtics in the playoffs, and it wasn't because of Joel Embiid. I can tell you that. So this guy is really good and he really shows up. And I think about a couple seasons ago when they played the Knicks in the playoffs, he had an electric series. They lost, but he had a great series. So he's not the problem and has not been the problem in his time in Philly. He has been the opposite of that. So I I think I'm like firm in my estimation that I think he's going to have a better season than Steph Curry. Does that mean that they should both be in the A tier? Maybe. And the S tier kind of feels like the Luka Shea territory, and nobody else is quite there. Because I could see that argument too. But I feel more confident in him than Steph, which is kind of a wild thought. But
My only question is, so you're not worried that having other people that need the ball on the team is going to take away from it? That was my biggest thing. Otherwise, I would,
yeah,
yeah.
so I think the consistency of having Jaylen Brown and LeBron will take the ball out of Maxi's hands more, but I think like it will increase his efficiency and also increase the 76ers relevance. Like they're gonna be an elite team, and I think he might still be their best player. Um,
Wow.
so
I mean, I liked Maxi a lot. I
like Embiid, I don't think he's gonna be healthy. Like, that's just how it goes. LeBron, I think he's gonna clearly take a little bit of a backseat.
hmm
So then it's just, do you think Maxi or Jaylen Brown is going to be the best player on the team? And Maxi's been there.
yeah.
I don't know if they're going to have Jaylen Brown come in and be the guy, or if he's going to play more of like a secondary role, like he did to Tatum in Boston, even though that's not what he necessarily wants to do.
You think he's better than Jalen Brunson, or he's gonna have a better season than Jalen Brunson?
I said you could convince me to get that high. That one, I think it's more of a toss up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's where my line is too, because I could see better than Steph Curry just because of like younger environment things, like availability, injury, sure.
and I think their
Um,
team will be good. Like the 76ers could be like a two seed, and I'd be like,
yeah.
yep.
I mean, but if Embiid's out, you got Huck Porty playing center, so you know.
I think we're gonna see a little LeBron at the five. It's gonna
I
be
think so.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm excited to see that too. God, I don't know. I don't know. Um,
My brain almost wants to say that Shea and Luca are so good that everyone else should not be up there. Um,
and then just A tier's a little bloated because I feel like putting Lamelo and B and like I don't think that fits either.
yeah,
Let's.
I don't know.
Can you do it and see what it looks like? Let's put Tyrese, Brunson, Steph in A tier and see. Like,
Then we get this kind of wacky little.
yeah. I mean, we'll see how it fills out. We can move things around.
Yeah, it feels like there's a cutoff. It feels like
I
this
see.
is a tier drop. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I was just thinking about it and I was like, man, this guy really is just always really good, huh?
Yeah, I oh my god, I love Tyrese Maxey. I can't wait for to see this Philadelphia team.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm so happy I got De'Aaron Fox.
No, you didn't. Oh, you did. Sorry, I just saw it on Clippers. Never mind.
People
You
may not
should be.
remember this.
Hmm.
De'Aaron Fox was an all-star last year.
Hmm.
Now, I didn't think he should have been an all-star. He was kind of an injury replacement last-minute all-star. But he did have a good season for the Spurs and is a big, big reason they made it to the finals. Now, once he got to the finals, some things went awry. And I think that narrative has kind of taken over of, oh my God, De'Aaron Fox, should they get rid of him and just play Castle and Harper because Harper was so good in all of the playoffs? And I understand that because De'Aaron Fox had a bad finals. But he had a pretty good regular season and he had a pretty good playoffs until the finals. It just that's when it happened to turn sideways. That's the narrative that is taken over. But he's a good player. And I think he will be a good player again. I think he has a lot to prove this season. He has definitely a chip on his shoulder coming off of that finals run, and I think he's going to be good. I think the kind of triple rotation of him, Castle, and Harper will be even more balanced this year. Like we might see a little less Fox, a little more Harper, um, maybe a little more Castle, because those are really the three primary ball handlers in the team. And as Harper and Castle develop, that means I think less Fox naturally. But I think he's going to still be good because there were so many times in the playoffs before the finals where Castle had the ball in his hands and he was just a turnover machine. And we both
Hmm.
really like Stephon Castle, but he was not running efficient offense. De'Aaron Fox could at least keep the ball in his hands and like run a play because that was not happening on a lot of Spurs possessions, and I think people kind of forget that. So that kind of veteran leadership is needed. I mean, the Spurs the season before, Chris Paul started 82 games because they needed somebody to handle the ball, and that's kind of now De'Aaron Fox's role. But of course, he's in his prime; he can score a little bit, that stuff too. Looking at our list here, this feels this feels like a firm B tier placement
Absolutely.
above Trey Young. It's, anywhere above that.
Yeah, totally. I agree too. There's been so much talk about De'Aaron Fox. Like, is he going to be on the team next year? I'm like, come on. It was one bad series. He also wasn't healthy. Like, you could tell he wasn't his
Yeah.
explosive self, and his ankles weren't like the best, and like his decision making definitely wasn't good either. And so it's not an excuse, just the injuries, but this guy got you there, and yeah, led the way. Like, basically, helped him throughout the regular season. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I think he's going to play like he has something to prove. He wants to show like, hey, I deserve to be the most played player on this team, which I don't know is exactly true because Wemby's on this team, but neither here nor there. Um, he's still going to play with that hustle that we've seen him play for years and years. And again, it's not like he's old. He's still like 28. He's in his prime. So he's going to be just fine. The Spurs are going to be just fine. They're going to be great. I think that De'Aaron Fox is probably going to have a better, I would say like above, I could see like above Josh Giddey. I don't know if I could say above Kyrie. Just because there's going to be a lot of, I think, like I said, stuff on Castle, Dylan Harper being there. I can't. This three guard rotation is probably one of my favorite in the league. Probably a lot of people's. I just love how they balance and complement each other, and there's different combinations you can do as well. Um,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see.
No, I'm with that. I am with that.
I'm
We'll
so happy
move.
for the Spurs. I'm so happy
Darren
for
Fox
this.
went to high school in Katy, apparently. I didn't know that.
Really? Is he from
Yeah.
Texas?
He's from New Orleans, so I don't know why he went to high
Uh,
school in Katy.
maybe
All
because of
right.
Katrina. I don't
Oh,
know because
that's a
people
good
like
theory.
left.
Yeah.
I know a lot of student like kids when I was in school that left because of that. Anyways,
Let's
who?
talk about the beard. Um, James Harden. He got traded to the Cavs last year. Remember that? And then he was not great in the playoffs. Whoa. He's old. He is how old is James Harden? 36. Okay. It's not as old as I thought.
I was
He's
38.
old though. Yeah, I was like, it feels like he's ancient. So I think his playmaking is a good complement to Donovan Mitchell's scoring. Of course, James Harden still scores as well, but not the primary scorer any longer. The defense leaves a lot to be desired in that backcourt. But James Harden's playmaking is crucial for this team because that's never been Donovan Mitchell's strong suit, and of course, it's none of the big strong suit. So it's going to be pretty important. I think that at this point in his career, he has certainly regressed a fair amount. Um, but, he is still going to make the right play most of the time. I think that that is an underrated skill in the NBA. And I think he still has that skill. So this feels like another B tier player to me.
Yeah, I think out of all the B tier players, I kind of trust him to be at the top of the B tier, just because like I mean I'm not a James Harden fan. We know this, come on. But uh, on this team, I like how he fits on this team and he complements everyone, and like he's been passing a lot more than like just scoring first, which he did on the Rockets, which is like the worst James. That's my least favorite James Harden. So
MVP James Harden.
yeah, it's my least favorite James Harden. It really is. To me, it's so boring. Um, so I like how he fits on this team. Obviously, like the lack of like passion, I think he plays with in the playoffs and things like that is a factor. Sure, but he's gonna have a great regular season, and the Cavaliers are gonna want. I mean, they got swept last year. It doesn't matter if they won analytically; they got freaking swept. Okay, so they're gonna, I think, play a little bit harder than they had like the last year or two because of that. Again, this is a team that was like the lights were too bright. So we'll see. But James Harden is there now. I think he has the pieces around him to also make elevate him. So that's why I think B tier is like top of B tier is a pretty good spot for him.
Yes, yes.
Let's see who we got
I,
next. Let's see who we got
I have
next.
many thoughts on the exact organization, but I'm just gonna wait until the end, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Miami, he is Davion Mitchell, right?
It's your guy. Yeah.
I like Davion Mitchell a lot. But he to me he kind of fits the same stereotype as Jalen Suggs. He
Talk
plays
about a
def
guy. Sorry.
uh, he plays defense. He plays with hustle. Last year in like a few playoffs games, I saw him like he couldn't miss from three. That is not his game. Um,
Mm,
and he's a little undersized, but I like the heart that he plays with. It's really great to see, and with like Giannis there too. Like I think they're going to be so good defensively. My questions for Davion are going to be all, of course, on the offensive side. He can be really quick, and he can get to the hoop and things like that. But if he can, I think his offense has been getting better. I don't know if the stats show that, but at least for me watching, can see that he has been
six and a
shooting
half
a little bit
assists. That's pretty good.
pretty good. He's been shooting a bit
39%
better.
from three. Yeah.
That's what like
Mm.
I think I see progress in him. Maybe a most improved player, if like the Heat are good. We can see. But yeah, I like a lot of what he does on this team. There are a lot of questions about shooting for sure, and he'll have more of a chance to shoot. I hope he does shoot more, so maybe he can just get better at it. To
Mm.
me, he very much fits into the C tier, but I don't know, like definitely on the higher end. Um, what do you think?
Yeah. Can't always rely solely on stats because the stats aren't like, oh my God, he contributes so much. But when we watch him, it's like, oh yeah, I like that guy. I think what we should do at the end of this is
Hmm.
almost do like a 1v1 battle. Like for example, start with the S tier. Would you rather have Shea or Luca? And then
Sure.
that we kind of swap order like that. I think that'll be
Cool.
interesting. Um, I don't know. I'll just put them like here for now.
Cool.
Here for now. I don't
What the
here for now.
heck?
I don't know what keeps happening.
All right. Let's see. We got what, five more left? Four more left.
I told Dom that before we recorded that we were going to be done 36 minutes ago, so it's not going well for me. I forgot that I don't shut the hell up.
Hey,
It's
it's okay,
unfortunate.
man. We did also catch up for like an hour before we started
It was
almost.
awesome.
That was great though.
No regrets.
None. Kobe White.
Yes, Alec Jacoby White. I think I accidentally did two in a row, so you're welcome to go ahead. if you would like.
Did you do two in a row?
I think I
I can
did
talk.
De'Aaron and Harden. I think I did them back to
You
back.
did. You sure did. I can do it. Kobe White for sure. Yeah, Kobe White first full season on the Hornets after the trade. He did really well for the Hornets. He played really well in the playing game. Got like some clutch shots in there. Kobe White's game is a lot of scoring. I know they always try to make him a point guard. Didn't really fit with the Bulls. His game, I think, was better when he was a shooting guard, and he's going to be a point guard here again. We'll see how much they kind of flip things around. They have Dennis Schroeder there. I don't know if he's a starter per se, but I think Kobe White has some playmaking chops, and with the Hornets, especially like not the Bulls really weren't playing for anything when he was there too, but the Hornets now are like you have to try to compete, and the Hornets will be fun. I think it'll be fun again. Um, Not as much with like LaMelo because it's just he's not elite like that, the passing and everything, but he can shoot, he can score. Defense is probably average, below average. Um, he kind of, I don't know, because when I'm looking at the tiers and like how people fit, to me, he kind of fits in the D tier, but probably like above everyone in the D tier, just because like the Hornets too. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that is kind of where a lot of the score first guards have landed on this tier list, and that is what he is. He didn't play. He didn't start for the Hornets last year, but that obviously is because they had LaMelo Ball,
Hmm.
who's not there. So it's probably Kobe, Brandon Miller, Khan, um, Musa at the five. I don't know who is there for.
Nasrid.
I forgot that you were for Nas Reed. What a weird team.
It's a weird team, and Grayson Allen's there. I'm looking at the depth. That's why I remember all this.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wouldn't like the Hornets. But no LaMelo and Miles Bridges. Let's go. Um, yeah, I mean, like I feel like Emmanuel quickly is like the closest comp, and I think I'd rather have Kobe White. So
Really? Okay. I don't. You can put him
I
there.
tell you what, one of those guys plays, and one of them plays, and we don't know. So.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say it like that, I mean, let's just keep going,
Look
man.
at this, looking nice and even in the middle right now.
Hey, wait till
Uh,
we. We'll see. We'll see what happens. These 1v1 matchups.
it's gonna be fun. Detroit basketball.
Motorcade.
Okay, so this is a free tier. This is an A tier for show. Um, Cade is good. Cade is really good. He had such a also Motorcade is a good nickname. I don't remember. I thought about that article that was like stupid
Yeah.
nickname. I was like, what are we talking about? This is an excellent nickname.
Excellent.
Um, no, he has come into his own. He's always been a pretty good playmaker and a decent scorer inside the arc, but he has added shooting to his game a little bit. He's added defense a little bit. And this is a guy. This is another one of those guys that is an engine of an offense, right? He's running the show and he's doing it well. And the Pistons last year, again, I keep bringing up a lot of players, but that's because we're talking about the guys with the ball in their hands, the point guards, the facilitators, the other guys matter. Um, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, Jalen Duren, these are not elite offensive players on your team, and he's making it work and making the Pistons have such a good season. They finished with the number one seed, right? So, um, yeah, the playoffs were a little disappointing, I think, but not Kate's fault. That's for sure. He showed up like he had all season. I'm glad that he's had three relatively healthy seasons after the big second season that was like, oh, he didn't play at all. Um, and I think he's going to continue to get better. I think he's going to be kind of a staple point guard in this league for a long time. I think, even with my bias, he's probably already better than Halliburton. Um, so he's up there. He's high in the A tier. How
Yeah,
high,
my
Dom?
my yeah, I was looking at Halliburton. I couldn't decide over or under. I was probably leaning over as well, just because I feel like he did more with less dependable pieces. But they're so similar to me. I think Cade just like barely. I feel like we've seen Halliburton like he's been his best. Like that finals run was crazy. That year is so good. I feel like
Hmm.
Cade can still be better, and I feel
Yeah,
like he's gonna
I
get
would agree.
better. So like that's like my only thing, and maybe Halliburton surprises me, but they're very similar to me. Also, triple double machine. Love to see it. We got two Dariuses left. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, snap.
Which one will it be? Which one will I talk about? I don't know a lot
Two,
about one of
two
them.
Dariuses in California.
And of course, okay, good. I get the one I know a little bit more about. Darius Garland. All right, so on the Clippers, it's going to be his first year, full year playing on the Clippers. Um, really solid point guard, can get people involved, play make. He can shoot. Injuries have been like the biggest problem, I feel like, with him, especially within Cleveland. Like he was available some days, some nights not, and it was just hard to keep track. But he can score, a little undersized, doesn't play like defense super great. I think he's good though. He's passable. Um, I'm curious to see what it'll be like on a team that's not really contending. Clippers obviously not contending. They just want to win games, so they're not like bottom three again. They'll probably be playing. We'll see what they can do. I think Darius Garland is a really good point guard in this league. I'd probably put him high in the C tier. I don't know about back of B, just because injuries and then like new place. But I don't know. What do you think?
I'm trying to be optimistic for Darius Garland because I feel like there have been a couple times that I've was who is it? Darius Garland and who that we argued about?
I only remember Tyler Hero and Austin Reeves really
Yeah, that
well.
was one. I want to
Maybe
say
it
it was
was
like I want to say I
Lamelo.
thought Darius or LaMelo was better than Darius, and you're like, no way.
Yeah, it
Um,
was probably something like that. It
but
was
now we're
yeah,
here. Now we're here, Darius. You're not A tier, so
yeah.
look out, Vanderbilt legend. You know, it's good. It's he's a good playmaker. He is a decent scorer. I don't think he's that good of a defender. Um, but I have hope for him on the Clippers because I think a lot of the problem was that it just the fit was not working in Cleveland with Colin Sexton and then with of course Donovan Mitchell. Um, because I feel like it kind of feels like they picked Garland over Sexton, got rid of Sexton, and then they got Mitchell and they picked Mitchell over Garland, and it was like okay. Um, but the Clippers got not a lot going on, and he is going to have the ball a lot. Brandon Ingram is there, I guess, sometimes, so that matters. But no, he's going to be the primary ball handler, facilitator, and that's exactly what he wants to be. Um, I was definitely thinking B tier when I was kind of looking at the list here.
Okay, I think definitely back of B tier though. Maybe above Jaw, but that's the
I'm
only
such a
one.
Trey Young hater, but Trey Young is probably better.
I think Trey Young's gonna be better.
S tier. Um,
Which Darius is S? Which one's S? Okay, talk to me about Darius. I know not that much about Darius Acuff.
I'll tell you this: I was excited that the Kings drafted him because I think in Damon's a top five projection that I made right before the draft. I had him going fifth, and then he didn't. And that was the only one I got wrong. I got the first four picks right, and then I got number five wrong. But the first four picks were really obvious, so I should get no credit for that. Um, it's interesting, I think, because this is the future of the Kings. This is it. They got nothing else. They're trying to get rid of Sabonis. They're trying to get rid of Malik Monk. They're trying to get rid of Zach LaVine. They already got rid of DeMar. Keegan Murray seems to have kind of stalled out. They got Maxime Reynaud in the second round last year, and he was a fun rookie, but like he's not a guy, but he had a good season. So this is really, we're putting all the eggs in the basket. So with those veteran players, Levine, Sabonis, things like that, I wonder how much, as a point guard, is he going to have the ball in his hands? How much is he going to play? How much are they going to let him run the offense? This is a high variance, not because of availability, like some of these people we've talked about, or we see a lot of different possibilities. I really just think it's all opportunity based. How much do they trust this guy right away? How much do they want to kind of let him feel it out? Is kind of the big question mark. And I hope the answer is a lot because I think he could be really good. And I don't watch a lot of college basketball, but the little bit I watched to try to kind of prep for the draft, I liked what this guy did. And I think this is exactly what the Kings need because they are just looking lost as a franchise right now. So I'm hoping and and praying non-religiously that he is good for them.
Yeah,
And I think he will be, but that's probably me hoping for the Kings. And hope for the Kings is a tricky thing because it
it
doesn't often
sure
pan
is.
out.
Yeah, I've just heard a lot of optimism by his draft and for the Kings. This is kind of like the first bright thing in this very dark tunnel that they've seen in at least the last year or two for sure. So, um, I mean, I don't even know where do you want to put him.
Jeez. Yeah.
What do you think that
How,
season it's gonna be? I mean, like, I feel like like the highest I would go is like top of D or bottom of
yeah.
D. It's
He
like
can't
that's
he can't go anywhere that isn't the D tier,
D
I
for
think.
Darius, So
Um, you can be better than Diego, I guess. That's fine. Uh, I probably would rather have you than, would I rather have you game?
yeah,
I'd rather have him than Ty Jerome.
yeah,
Probably.
sure, sure, yeah, sure, sure, do it. I dare you.
You Darius me. Okay.
Oh my God,
Um,
let's do this.
let's try to do this. I think so. Let's not think of this as like, franchise long, right? We're not
Right.
thinking of if I had to draft you today, but for one season, you have to, be the point guard of my team to try to win a championship.
Yeah.
Who or who? Um, and again, we're projecting. So this is not how did they do last season. This is how do we think they're going to do this season.
Hmm.
So currently in our S tier, we have Shea and Luca. You would rather have Luca, I imagine.
You knew it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't. I think so. I would rather have Shea, and I think we talked about the defense and playmaking earlier, but aside from that, Shea's just more available.
I was just gonna say I would I'm fine with keeping Shea at the top because of availability. Like I just don't know about Luca. Obviously,
He
I want
he
him to
he
be
just runs
available.
himself into the ground the way he
Yeah.
plays. He's like, oh,
He
and he's
has
dead.
to, and this year he
Yeah,
has to even
yeah.
even more, which is like I'm not. I'm
So,
curious to
what
see what it'll be like.
is there in your mind a clear enough drop off that should just be the S tier, or are there any guys in A tier do you think belong in the S tier with these two?
It's a really hard question because I mean I kind of don't. I don't see like to me Luca and SGA. If someone told me today I saw the future, one of them is going to be MVP next season. I
That's
believe it.
literally what I was thinking.
And then I'm like, would
The
Jalen
S
Brunson
tier
be
players
MVP?
can
He's
win
like,
MVP.
yeah. And I'm like, I think Jalen Brunson. It was just a testament to the team. I feel like they have enough
Team's too good.
people. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just too good, right? And then it goes down the line. Like I think everyone else, like Steph Curry's just too old. Let's be honest. But like, I like Cade a lot, and Cade, I would maybe even see him being MVP more than like Maxey or
I agree
Brunson.
with that.
But I don't know if that means he's. This shouldn't be the only thing. Like who's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
likely
yeah,
to be
yeah.
MVP? But I think S tier is good. I think we're good.
Yeah,
We're
it
locked
just
for
feels
that.
like those are just the two by a mile.
Yeah,
Um,
cool. So now
okay. Yeah.
Brunson or Maxey?
It's a hard question. I'll say Brunson because something I didn't think about with LeBron and Jalen Brown is an adjustment, right? The team is
Yeah.
going to take a little bit of time to gel, take a little time to figure it out. Um, so yeah, that feels fine.
Okay. How about I'll just do all of A, and then it'll be smoother that way. So okay, Maxey or Steph?
Maxi,
Cool, cool. Steph or Cade?
Cade.
I'm fine with that.
Now you have to
Steph,
revisit this.
I'm fine with how it is. Truly,
Yeah,
I think.
I think I might move Cade up even further.
Okay, well, hold up.
I'm kind of a Cade believer.
It might be. It will be harder for Maxi because of all the people there, and the Pistons are going to be worse this year. Um, and so that means Cade will have to do more.
Yes.
Maybe I talked myself into it. Maybe you could put him above Maxi, but I can't go higher than that
Yeah, that's fair.
as much as I
Okay.
want to. Okay, Steph or Hallie?
is a hard question for me because I'm a little biased. I think I would say Halliburton.
So I would say Halliburton. I'm just worried about the injury.
Yeah,
And Steph is old, so they're both they have both that
he's
against
he's
them.
old. Their whole team is so old. Their team is ancient. It's awesome. Um, who did the Warriors get anybody fun? Who am I forgetting about?
No, you didn't. I looked at it. You're not missing anything
Mm,
good. They got Gary Payton in the second back. That's
that
basically
is fun.
Yaxel, if you care. I don't.
Axel Linderbaum. Um,
I feel like Steph has to be elite. That's my only thing. Whereas Hallie has people. So
sure. Yeah, the injury's a big question mark too. That's fair.
yeah, Hallie or D Book.
I think I sadly have to say Devin Booker.
Interesting. Does Steph Curry? Because by that logic, he'd be like eighth.
Yeah, I think I'm just lower on him at the moment. So
I mean, you can switch D Book and Hallie if you want.
yeah, the injury question mark I think, is important.
Yeah. Jamal Murray or Halliburton.
I'll cheap Halliburton in this scenario though. I
Cool.
think
LaMelo or Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray.
Cool. I'm cool. I am cool with this. I think we have Steph Curry has to be respected.
Sure.
Like I think that's more of like a thing for me as much as I like Halliburton. But I'm cool. I think this makes
Does this feel like a clear teardrop? I think so.
to me it does.
Yeah. I'm looking at the question, does anybody in B tier belong up here?
The
I
only
don't
one,
think so.
yeah, because I see, it's a mix of like older players who are like consistent
Hmm.
good, and then like younger players who are gonna probably make a jump.
Hmm.
I just don't know if anyone's jumping to A tier. So
Yeah.
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 All right, my turn.
Okay. James Harden or Keontae George?
And that's tough. And that's tough. But I'll probably keep James Harden.
Yeah, that one is hard. I think, there is a little bit of like Markkinen and Jaren Jackson weren't as available for the Jazz, and theoretically they will be this year.
Hmm.
And Peterson. So yeah, Keontae's involvement could kind of dip a little bit.
Yeah,
And Harden's getting more comfortable with the Cavs because he only played half a season last year.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, that makes sense to me. Um, Keontae or Kyrie?
Key versus Kai. This is tough. I want to
Got the
say
injury question mark.
I want to sell high. I want to buy high on Keontae George. So I'll say Keontae because of the injury as well, and just Mavericks are like I don't know if they're playing with something to prove. I think next season is going to be a bit better for them now that I think they're just like still licking their wounds from the Luka trade and trying to figure it out. Um, you know,
Yeah. Kyrie or De'Aaron Fox?
I think maybe Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with that.
Okay.
De'Aaron Fox, Keontae George? Is there what the hell? Is there a debate there?
Maybe I put De'Aaron Fox higher. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, cool. I'm
This
cool with that.
feels this feels good.
Yeah.
Kyrie or Josh Giddey, the ultimate debate that we thought we'd be having.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave Kyrie there. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. Everyone's just gonna say I'm racist if I do that. Come on, I can't. That's just I
In
can't
good
do that.
faith. Josh
Yeah.
Giddey, Trey Young.
Ooh, I would rather have.
I might have put. I might hate Trey Young too much.
I,
He
I
should
would
probably
think
be
I'd
higher.
rather have Josh Giddey just because I like the playmaking and
Trey
also the
Young is a good
Bulls.
playmaker.
Yeah, but he's okay. So you want to move Trey Young up?
I'm such a Trey Young hater that it's hard for me to evaluate.
For me, it's just the Wizards. Like I'm trying to think who is he assisting to, and I'm like, who am I
AJ
trusting on this?
DeMonsta.
I haven't
Um,
seen any. I don't know this guy. It's like
he'll be a rim runner. Um, Yeah, I don't know. That one's hard. The Wizards are such a weird team that it's
Yeah,
gonna be strange, I think.
yeah.
Um, I kind of want to move Keontae down, I think,
To where?
just below Kyrie.
Sure.
He's better than Kyrie already. That seems
I'm buying high.
not accurate, but I do like him in this tier. Um, so you would definitely say Keontae better than Giddy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You said Giddy better than Young, Trey Young, John Morant.
I would say Trey Young.
John Morant, a lot of question marks too.
Yeah.
John Morant, Darius Garland. You wanted Darius Garland in the C tier, didn't you?
I would say Darius Garland.
Yeah, I like Darius Garland. These two also feel pretty similar.
Yeah.
Uh, Darius Garland, Trey Young.
I still think Trey Young.
Okay, that feels fine. I live with
Yeah.
that. Um,
I feel there's a
okay.
cutoff. How do you feel?
About like the teardrop here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This feels good in terms of like involvement in the team.
Mm-hmm.
There is one guy in C tier that I think because of the team situation, I
I
could
know
see
who
having a B tier season.
I know who you're saying.
Who do you think? Who do you think I'm saying?
Ryan Rollins.
You're goddamn right. I'm saying Ryan Rollins. No, but like he's such a different mold of player than everyone else in the B tier. It's kind of strange.
I could see top of C, but I mean we can do this
Yeah,
thing that we can Fred or
yeah.
Ryan Rollins.
Ryan Rollins.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right. What about Jaw versus Ryan Rollins?
Oh, I see. I see what we're doing.
I'm doing my due diligence.
Yeah, that's so hard. The ceiling for Jaws there. I just don't know if he'll how far he'll get. This
Yeah.
we can keep it like this. I think this is fine.
Cool. Fred or Davion?
I kind of want to say Davion.
I would also say Davion.
Yeah,
Injury stuff too.
yeah,
Um,
yep,
Fred or CJ? Okay,
yep.
cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I feel that. Um,
Two
Davion
guys
or
that don't
CJ?
play.
Davion or CJ?
uh, Probably CJ.
Really? I mean,
He's good.
it's my bias. So if you believe that, you could put CJ higher. I think my bias is
He is
Davion.
old. Wait, let me try to remember how old he is. He's like
34?
34. Yeah, that's so old. He's about to be 35. I'll keep it like that. I'll keep
Okay.
it like that. He's so old.
Freddie or DeJounte?
Two guys that I haven't watched play basketball in a year. Um, wow. I mean, like, I think the theoretical is DeJounte, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I would give Fred the benefit because he was really good for the Rockets. I feel like it'll continue. DeJounte is just so like not. It doesn't seem like a Pelicans guy. Like it doesn't seem like
yeah.
it'll work. Kobe or DeJounte?
Um, if they're both playing, I'd rather have DeJounte. So,
I'm cool with that. I could kind of see Kobe White, but I'm thinking about availability. If they're there, then yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a hard question with the availability.
Kobe White or Emmanuel quickly.
Kobe White.
I'm cool with that. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I didn't know the man played 70 games last year. Jesus Christ. All right, D tier, baby.
Does this feel this feels like the most questionable teardrop?
I
Where does
I
the C tier end and the D tier begin?
I could see Peyton Pritchard being back a C
That's
tier.
kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think especially in the system that the Celtics have, like I think it's
Oh,
and
look at
I'm
that. Oh, that's yummy right there. The three exactly even tiers in the middle. Mm-mm-mm.
that's the only reason why you wanted to move him. No, I'm kidding. Um, Jalen Suggs being the top of D tier is killing me inside. But What can you
Darius
do?
Acuff or Jalen Suggs?
Oh God, Suggs. I would rather. Oh my God, but maybe I don't know. With the injuries, I'm like maybe I'd rather have a young guy. But who's gonna have a better season? I'd probably say Suggs. I literally don't know Darius Acuff's game at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I guess we should have done Quickly or Pritchard. We didn't do that.
I'm cool. What do
Yeah,
you
okay.
think? Quickly or Pritchard?
This is, I don't know. This is fine, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
All the same player. Doesn't matter.
yeah.
Ty Jerome or Darius Acuff?
Darius Acuff for sure.
Okay.
And
Ty
then
Jerome's just
Jaeger
sad then.
Diamond is just like, what up? I love that so much. That's so funny.
Put a question mark. Who fucking knows what that guy's gonna
If you put
do?
Darius Acuff down there, then it'll be 2, 3, and it'll be a bit more even.
mm, mm,
It's up to you though.
Yeah, he's better than Igor though.
Yeah.
Um, he's already better.
Looks
Oh, this is awesome.
like a
Oh,
flagpole, kind of.
yeah.
Okay, can we review because I'm gonna have to use a restroom so
Dude,
bad.
I needed to drink water for like an hour. This is
um,
awesome.
all
Go
right,
ahead.
let's do it. S tier, baby. We got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and then Luka Doncic.
A tier, we have Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Tyrese Halliburton, Jamal Murray, and LaMelo Ball.
B tier at the top, we got James Harden, De'Aaron Fox, Kyrie Irving, Keontae George, Josh Giddey, Trey Young, Darius Garland, and John Morant.
In the C tier, we have Ryan Rollins, Davion Mitchell, CJ McCollum, Fred Van Fleet, DeJounte Murray, Kobe White, Emmanuel Quickly, and Peyton Pritchard.
King of the D tier, Jalen Suggs, and then Ty Jerome. Yeah,
And question marks because we haven't watched them, except even with Yegor Dimon, we watched them a little bit. Darius Acuff and Yegor Gilman, we're just not sure. That is our projected 2026 2027 point guard list.
I like it. I'm into
I
it.
I like it as well. Gotta get the old screen share, little snipping
Yes,
tool action,
we
save it for later.
must. So we can look at it next year and be like, what were we thinking? Yegor Diemann's an S tier. What the heck?
What on God's green earth were we doing?
Man, I don't know, man.
I gotta make sure I put this in the right place. Tier rankings. I made a folder for this. I don't even remember
I remember you making a folder for it even.
that.
All right. Well, this was it. This is our first tier. We're gonna do four more tier lists.
I feel like the point guard is the hardest one.
Point guard is the hardest one. And I'm excited to see what the other ones turn out and look like. Thank you for listening. We're gonna do shooting guards next time when that is. Probably next week or the week after when I'm back. Anyways, Damon's gonna take the shot real quick, and he's gonna make it because he missed it because he hates me, but it's okay.
Fuck.
But he's gonna make this one because he loves me. See, there we go. I knew it. I knew it. But everyone, thanks again for listening. Follow, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you next time on Two Man Game with Damon and Dom.
Buckets!